All green all the time.
Maybe not all the time, but no, it's when you stream, there's at least an OBS down in the bottom. It kind of there's this little symbol that shows like how good the stream's going. You know, whether or not your upload or you're dropping frames or anything like that.
Yeah.
So that's what I always look for. And make sure I'm in pinball. Yeah. I think we're good. Make sure it shows live on Twitch. Yep, good.
We're hot, we're live, we're on.
All right, let's see if I can find a few shots real quick before too many people show up. I definitely, there are other streamers that talk about, like, warming up.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nope, not I. I pretty much just, I just dive on in.
Games, yeah, it's funny. Some games when I play, I find my first game is, like, the best because, for whatever reason, I'm not sort of trying to get ahead of it. Sometimes you start to play for a while, your adrenaline gets up, and I find I'm starting to get a little too quick.
Dude, you are 2,000 plays. 2,000 plays.
I'm over 2,100 now.
I mean,
I said to my wife today, I said, well, you can't say I'm not playing this thing.
No. So
say what you will, but you can't say that I'm not playing it.
Have you searched your average ball time? Like, any idea roughly what that is? Because let's say it's 21. Let's say it's 5 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Divided by 60.
Which is not. It is definitely not 5 minutes.
I was gonna say that's 175 hours you've played that game.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm up there though.
You might.
Because there's no. I some days I average like about an hour a day on the thing.
Yeah.
If I'm having, at night, depending what's going on. Now I might go a few days where I don't play at all, so it's tough to say what that average is.
See, that's the one guilt thing I have is I truly feel Becca's here. Becca, Craig Bobby's on mic. If you're dying to talk to somebody, you can join the chat. But that's my one guilt is being that little kids and hey Joel and Craig, Mervin, how you doing, buddy? Becca just got home. Cash Money Costa, Dan, how you doing, man? Thanks for being here tonight.
Who cares if you literally just got home,
yeah.
Becca?
No excuses.
Yeah, come on.
No, my one guilt with having them is who's the mysterious voice in the background? That would be the one, the only Craig Bobby. Craig Bobby.
In person, live.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I don't know. I have a handful of games down here, and I just trying to find time to play them.
Yeah.
As well as, that's the one nice thing about having one game is there's no decision making. You just go play pinball. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's true. And then the good news about it is that I haven't got sick of it yet. And often when I don't play it for a few days, I wonder, when I play it again, am I going to feel differently about it? And so far, I haven't actually. The game is so damn fun to shoot. I still can't. Even tonight, I was thinking, I'm getting actually better. So I had one shot, and this isn't going to make sense if you don't know the playfield, but that center shot up the middle, I had
the Black Widow
ball.
Shot. Yeah.
Yeah. So the Black Widow shot, exactly. So I had a ball on the left and right flipper, and I shot them at the same time. They both went up the damn flipper at the same time. I hadn't. That's the first time that's happened to me in 2,100 games.
2,100 games.
So I was like, Jesus, look at that, and I'm getting better at keeping one eye on the upper part of the playfield. So when that ball comes around, and the Hawkeye shot, it comes down on that third flipper. I can kind of have one eye on that, and I'm controlling that with balls at the bottom part of the playfield too. So.
You're getting better.
Anyway.
Just all around.
Getting better. The ball times are getting longer, there's no doubt.
Dennis, appreciate you, man. Dennis coming in with the Prime sub. Dennis is Zornrith, so Dennis Kreisel. I think I'm 2/3 of the way through your podcast that came out today. I took the day off. We actually took the kids to the zoo. So I haven't been able to finish it yet, but we're getting there. Bob, UC Cash, how you doing, buddy? It's good seeing you. Welcome to Wednesday. Yeah, Mervin, I really have enjoyed Avengers at the local arcade, but I think I'm going to love Godzilla. We're going to get into Godzilla. Don't worry. We're going to get into Godzilla.
Really
We're just going to wait another, I don't know, 5-10 minutes just because there'll be more people, filing in here. But, no, Craig, you got a game... and you've proven it. There's so much longevity in Avengers. If you enjoy playing it, there's just, I don't know. Like that was my one kind of complaint with Mando was I haven't, and I understand the code's not finished, completely done, but I felt like I'd already seen everything in the game except for the final wizard mode. And sure, you've probably seen almost everything in the game, but the way Avengers is made with this choose your own adventure kind of thing, it's unbelievable. You see Cash coming in with that sub. Hey, Bob, really appreciate that. 2-man streak, appreciate that, man. Blue Goose, Dennis, listen to the podcast and the dry land is a myth joke. Hit me in my soul. Nice job, Blue Goose. Yeah, Dennis, well done, man. You were
those deep cuts are for the true fans.
Oh no. Dennis is now on the mic. What up, Dennis? How you doing, man?
Hey, I was just coming in to see if Craig, now that his scores are reset, is going to sell Avengers off like he should.
He's having to start over, yeah.
It did cross my mind. I thought, well, is this the universe telling me it's time to sell this thing?
It's telling you it's time for a water world, one of Gottlieb's most forgotten D&Ds.
Waterworld, wow. Dennis, you seemed like, I feel like you guys should record in the middle of the week more often. You were like, maybe it was just a new game or what, but I don't know. You seemed, I'm not going to say like more relaxed, but not, you seemed like you enjoyed it. That's what I'm saying.
It was probably because we were rushing, because I had a hard stop.
Oh. So you were committed to a certain time frame, and you're like, let's do this. Let's not knock this out, kind of thing. Right?
Well, it was like we started later than we should have. Zach needed more time to prep his notes, and because he was probably so busy with people calling for Godzilla, and then I added another 30 minutes on it. But yeah, I had taco salad waiting. I can't be hanging around all night recording.
Chicken waiting. Not you already had the beef, yeah. Eve's Mr. J.
I had Lego Masters to watch. I couldn't be sitting there talking about. That's why half the news got put off to the for the next episode, which I won't be on, so I don't have to worry about it.
There you go. That's hilarious. So, how many times while recording that podcast was Zach like, "Oh, there's another order. Oh, there's another order." He wasn't interrupting you to.
If it was, his phone was on silent. I didn't hear it. But he edited it all out. But he sighed a lot, like how I usually do. He doesn't take mine out. But I think he was feeling stressed. I have a suspicion that he's like doing this all with like an Excel spreadsheet or something. So
yeah, yeah, Zach has shown us before how technically inclined he is. So
well, look at when he finally got all the, that was the reason why the episode announcing all the shirts was so late. It wasn't the editing of the episode. It was he was trying to get the flipping out swag store up, and then it's like 50,000 items on one page.
I know, one page.
No.
I remember when he's like, "Hey, merch is up." I was somewhere, so I'm doing it on my phone. I'm like, "This is
I've
painful."
Got people like, where's the goat shirt?
Yeah.
All I see is Zach's face to cover my schlong.
Yeah, you just keep scrolling. You're like, "Oh, this is a great shirt. This is a great shirt. Oh, now I'm in underwear. Oh, there's a sports bra. Oh, this is great." Yeah. Ramrod Ian, good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, I only got to I haven't got all the way through the podcast yet, so I don't want to spoil anything.
So you don't. All right, he has to keep going after I leave. So.
Oh, you just say I'm gone.
No. I mean, it was all set, and he was like, "Okay, you can go." So I gave him my Godzilla cry to put at the end, and so spoiler, I do a Godzilla impression.
Oh, wonderful!
Hilarious. Yeah, I haven't got to the end of it yet either.
I bet it's. Well, it is very clear. Played some Hot Wheels the other day. It's pretty fun. Ian, yes, this is a fun game. But Dennis, it's very clear that you know Godzilla lore. Like,
I know a little bit.
Okay, because that's something. I mean, when Zach was saying at the beginning of the episode that this theme doesn't really do anything for him, I mean, I'm with them. I understand Godzilla, but I haven't seen any of those movies from that time period. So, just I don't know.
We used to watch it all the time when we were kids. I mean, we
had it on from time to time, but I've got my EGP co-host Tony, huge Godzilla fan. He's probably seen all the movies. So,
but I'm assuming Tony's out on this just based on price alone.
It would, they've got other financial priorities than buying a new in-box pinball machine.
I don't blame him.
Yeah, I know, it's a shock. the only pin, I mean, he's like, this is, and normally he's not ever tempted to get a new in-box, but this one, he's like, oh my god, it's Showa era Godzilla, I want it.
Yeah. I just know Godzilla isn't supposed to be green. Yeah, I've read a little bit on that. Dan, I bought a pair of Dennis underwear, the whitey tighties. Dennis, your face isn't on any of the flipping out underwear.
Maybe he means that a regular pair of whitey tighties is equivalent to my boring persona.
Okay.
I am the fruit of the loom of podcasting. the Haynes of the microphone.
The Haynes. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I'm the fruit of the loom of podcasting.
Yeah, I used to go by Calvin Creasel, but...
Calvin Creasel.
You might know my hit fragrance, CK Nunn.
Wow. Slappy White, at this point, I think Elwin could make a game about washing your socks and the LEs would sell out. Yes, it is very clear, and I understand, Dennis, you and Zach disagreed. You feel, or Zach feels there's a really good chance it's going to outsell Mando. You were quick to say no to that. But I feel like at this point, like, Keith Elwin is the theme. It doesn't matter. It's just Keith Elwin. People want to buy. Like, I know on my podcast, Travis Murray and Tom Graff, they were both like, we're in. It doesn't matter. Like, they're in because they're competitive players and it's freaking Keith Elwin. Like, they're going for it. So, I don't know.
Sure. No, I get that. It's just you're in the bubble.
True.
So, yeah. And Zach and all of us are. And that's the thing. Most people who will end up buying a game who are going to buy Mandalorian, they don't care who designed it. They don't know these names. These people are nobodies to them. It's like, I don't know all the programmers who did Call of Duty. I don't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there are people that will buy an Elwin, just like there are people that will buy an Eddie, and there are probably more that will buy off of Elwin's name, but Mandalorian is one of the hottest family-friendly franchises, and most kids today have no idea what Showa-era Godzilla is. And the moment they find out it isn't the cool one from 2019, it's for the fans. It will do well. It will do well. But it's not going to... I just cannot fathom it doing as well as Mandalorian, especially when you consider that it's $1,000 more.
True. And I bet on location, I would assume... Mando will probably be played more at the end of the day than Godzilla, just due to
same thing
casuals.
Everyone hated on, especially in early code, like pro model Stern Star Wars, but on location, that game kills.
Yeah. Makes sense. What do we have here? Bob, you're on
Star Wars is going to be amazing.
I mean, no, I meant it literally kills because you plunge and it hits those targets and goes out the out lane.
Yeah, and casuals love that. They love immediately losing the ball.
Steve, they love that.
Bob, UC Cash, he's in on it, so that's awesome. Is this a freaking Cactus Cup? What?
Well,
I don't know.
I'll tell you.
Elwin equals gold. Mandos will sell. Yeah, there may be a lot of folks in the bubble that also haven't gotten their last game they ordered waiting on. Dude, Blue Goose, I'm sorry about that, man. That blows. Yeah,
I made a joke at Australia's expense, but it's based on truth. Yeah, I know Australians were still waiting for their man.
They're going to get lapped.
Sure. I wonder how many... Well, I remember there was somebody in the pinball community Discord that said he traded his Halloween. He's like, here he is waiting for Halloween. He's like, I'm out. Give me this other one instead. I wonder if there are people that, even maybe called Zach that are like, hey, I haven't got my Mando Premium yet. Scratch that. Put the money towards Godzilla, and here's another $1,200.
I think that happens quite a bit, actually. I obviously more so now because the delays are so bad. But
true.
but it's I do believe I've just talking with Zach off air so much. It's not been unusual. People don't like to wait. So once. Just like there's all this, oh my God, it's Elwyn, it's Godzilla. Look at the skyscraper is so awesome, and it's all true. But in a month, the hype for that will be down no matter what. It's always true. And then people will be speculating what Rush is going to be like in December. So
they always want the new shiny. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I did find too on this game. I think because that skyscraper is so dominating in the back of the playfield, I had a much harder time finding the shots in this game. So I can't. With Avengers, it was pretty straightforward. I thought anyway. Like you could instantly see the 3 ramps where the ball was traveling. That skyscraper shields a lot of the back part of the playfield, and so I looked at it and went. I know Keith Elwyn is designing this thing. It's gonna be a great shooter, but I couldn't instantly see how it's gonna be a great shooter.
Oh, good point.
Now that's just me too.
No, it's not just you. There've been other games where I've struggled a little bit. I struggled when Stranger Things was shown. I wasn't quite sure where all the pathing was.
Yeah.
Of course, it becomes really obvious once you see
it.
Yeah, 5 or 10 minutes of footage, you'll know, because this stuff isn't. It's one of the things where I, being my persnickety persona, got always a little annoyed with people that were like huge Subway fans. I don't care that they like Subways. I cared when my problem was when the excuse for them was because I don't know where the ball's going to come out. It's like, yeah, for the first game, but after that you know where the ball's coming. I mean, come on, this isn't magic.
Yeah, good point. I will say, I mean, judging that, I was not impressed with the trailer, and I just overall, I mean, it gave me a visual, it gave me stuff, but I have no idea how gameplay looks at all with that trailer, and even just on like the Pro, I was looking, I'm like, okay, if you hit the right ramp, where does it come out? Because it goes into the skyscraper. It's like, does it go down the left ramp? Is there a diverter in there? And it sounds like on the premium, based on the height, it'll, one level it'll maybe crisscross, on another level it'll do like more of a U-turn, come down a different ramp. I don't know. I
think you're right. Each level's going to have a different diverter,
which is pretty awesome. I mean, that's pretty unique. Yeah, Bob, I know you're still waiting on your Jurassic Park. And you ordered that in July. That sucks.
Wow.
I feel bad for the people that and apparently your game's gonna go. It's now more expensive too, so $300 more.
That's not ordered in July though. That's not that long, honestly. When you look at the math, so it's July, it's August, September. Like
it is versus what we were used to.
Oh yeah.
So.
I mean, I waited about 12 weeks for my Avengers when I ordered it.
Right, and it used to not be like that. Like when I've only ever bought a couple new in box, but when I bought my Star Trek new in box, it had not yet been, like the sticker on it was built after I ordered it, and I had that game within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And when I ordered TNA, they were already done. They had them in stock because I don't pre-order. And I got that within 2 weeks, and that was only a week delay, and that was a week delayed because of a snowstorm in Wisconsin. The shippers couldn't get it.
Well,
so
what I think's crazy it was like I don't know, year and a half ago, 2 years ago, that Ray Day in our Discord was like, he bought a Deadpool, and they're like, why'd you buy a Deadpool? He's like, I had the money. I got on Zach's website, they were in stock, I hit a button, and 2 days later it showed up. Like the idea that distributors used to have stock. They used to have things you could buy and get within a few days. Kirk Hobbs, the Stern price increase makes me more comfortable with paying JJP prices. They are definitely closing the gap on the higher market, but what's crazy now is because the Pro is so expensive, companies like American Pinball, now they're seeing like, this game's cheaper, right? I mean,
we'll see if they hold. I fully expect. I mean, remember, JJP put out $1,000 price spike on Guns N' Roses already.
Good
and
point.
I fully expect when they announce Toy Story, there will be another significant. And I think it'll be at least 1,000.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Again.
Yeah.
I'd say at least.
The rotating spinner made me think of Lights Camera Action. I think that's a pretty cool on Godzilla. That rotating ramp.
Mm-hmm.
You hit a few targets and boop, and then you have an up ramp to hit that. There are Sure. Let's dive in. I don't know. We've waited 20 minutes. Let's dive into Godzilla. There are some cool mechs. Bumper Nugget, how you doing, buddy? There are definitely some. I think all the like the skyscraper alone, amazing mech. But that drawbridge, the breaking drawbridge, is awesome. That spinner, I don't know. It's Dennis. You were all about the breaking bridge. Why?
Well, it's just a cool visual that ties so well to the theme. So is the falling skyscraper, but
Yeah, and the fact that it's a physical ball lock on top, you know, that's, I don't know. I'm a big fan of physical ball locks. Big fan of them. But I don't know. That's really cool. I would be curious if on Friday, I think because they're streaming Friday, I'll be curious if they stream the Pro or the Premium or both. But there's definitely
they usually do an upper model, premium or an LE, I think. Pros usually stream second because they want to try and get you to buy the expensive one first, I think is the strategy.
So it is clear, and the reason I understand that it's always been Pro is really meant for a location, and then they really want all homeowners to buy the premiums. That's the thought. But so the new aprons have the QR code reader. What I think is interesting is there's no spot on the premium or the LE to put a price card. Did you guys notice that? Like,
no, I didn't.
Yeah.
In terms of the cost of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you look at the apron now, they did like full apron art, which is awesome. They did it on the premium and the LE, but now there's just art in the lower right. So normally where a price card would go, there's no spot to put a price. Yeah. There's so you
maybe
either
it's got the cutouts to still let you stick one in. And the art would be covered.
Maybe. I didn't see that, but I
bet they do that.
I would hope there's a place to do it, but I saw that. I'm like, do you really think that, you know, there are premiums and LEs that are on location?
Oh, sure. We get premiums on location. People can just fold a piece of Scotch tape over on it and stick a card down.
They could.
No big deal.
But that was just I found that very surprising, personally, that they would essentially eliminate something like that. But
and if they're going more towards, I mean, the whole reason for changing that art up has to be to try and seduce collectors more, in my mind, and that's especially if my speculation's correct, and that they actually did up the bill of materials, and they continue to do that going forward on the gap between the premium and pro to further segregate it. That, you know, that idea of, hey, look, you know, exploiting the JJP thing. It's like, hey, look, we're leaving money on the table. You guys are willing to spend 5 figures now, so why are we letting you get away with acting like this isn't bourgeois crap?
Bourgeois, nice.
No, I remain fascinated at what is historically a blue-collar hobby has become a way to flex.
Yeah.
I get, yeah. Bloody Cactus, I'm not sold on the multi-magnet shot, but that shot, I don't know. Maybe it's in Keith we trust, but that magnet captive ball, in my opinion, I think Keith probably cares more about the way his games shoot more than anything else about his game. So, in my opinion, maybe I'm giving too much faith in Keith, but if there was a mech that's not going to work consistently or the way that he wants it to, I doubt it would be in the game. And that's a key. That magnet captive ball is in all 3 versions. So, I don't know. I think that'll be really unique. And I don't know. Personally, I love magnets. Magnets are pretty sick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it looked very cool. When I saw that, I was like, ooh, that's a beauty right there.
I will say, and I know I don't have the picture up, but the plunge is a very weird arc across the playfield. And maybe you could almost plunge it into that captive ball for something. I don't know. You'd have to look at the pictures, but it is a weird arc. It doesn't go all the way to the back. Hot Wheels, best Steam integrated skill shot of all time. The skill shot on this is pretty great. If you guys don't know it, anybody watching, there's 3 spots. There's 1, 2, 3. You want to go for 3. You rev. So you want to rev and then plunge. So you want to get as close to 10 as possible, but you don't want to go over it. So like right like that. Oh, so I only got 7, and then you want to plunge and keep it within that vicinity. It's like you need to use both hands. It's a challenging skill shot, but
Travis could have made that. Probably.
Probably.
It's actually, I didn't know how that worked, and that's really interesting, especially Though
Yeah.
quite a twist from now mandating 2 hands when they really exploited that Oktoberfest was all about just playing with one.
Yeah, you can. I mean, I don't think you. I'm pretty sure you can only rev with the left flipper, and it's a challenge. You almost kind of need to bring your shooter gauge back to where you think it's supposed to be, then focus on the meter, and then let go. It's weird. JJP needs to run 2 games a year to go 2021 without a release. Is just leaving so much money on the table. Yeah, Kirk Hobbs, I agree. I don't know. I mean, I think
He's
I'm not
right, but
Yeah.
no, sorry to cut in, but
No.
I mean, so what? Here we are talking. We were talking Godzilla and Godzilla Mech. So what do you think though about releasing a new game when there are people waiting for Jurassic Parks and Mandos? And
Yeah.
like, I've said it before, but I'll say it again. I know Josh Sharp, who, being with Raw Thrills, is very familiar with the assembly line process, and of course his dad, being involved with Williams so heavily, has always pointed out that the model of amusement assembly line folks has historically always been you keep the line busy, you drop a new game when the line starts to slow. That line is not slow right now, so I don't understand why they dropped Godzilla, and I don't understand why they're going to drop Rush in December, because they sure as hell are not going to be caught up.
Yeah. Good
And
point.
JJP, I think, is like, maybe they're ready to drop. Surely the Toy Story is done being designed by now, but they're not even done shipping all the CEs out yet.
There's no way.
Yeah, people have waited over a year, apparently.
So, I mean, again, at that point, what happens to your customers if they've been waiting a year for their Guns N' Roses and, oh, look, here's Toy Story? How does that make you feel? It would make me feel pretty unappreciated.
Well, yeah, there's a ton of these Mando people waiting, and they probably feel. I think as a pinball fan, if Stern just announced, hey, I know we do 3 cornerstones a year, but we're gonna take a timeout and push, give us 3 months to catch up. I don't know. I'm not gonna be upset by that. Like, I would be totally okay with that. But Mervin, you're right. All I can think of is it's got to be licensing.
That's the only thing
It's got to be licensing. So maybe, I mean, they're always planning 3 years out. Maybe they do have a break built in, but it's just a not yet kind of scenario. Maybe the break will be sometime in 2022. I don't know.
I mean, there's one other way if they want to keep this release schedule to try and reduce the backlog, and that's to raise the prices even more and force you out.
That's what, I mean, Zach said it, if you have an older game on order and it's not going to be made till 2022, that older game is now going to be the same price as Godzilla. So there's going to be a lot of people that have been waiting months and months and months, and Zach's going to have to call you up and say, dude, I'm sorry, but if you're on a premium, if you want this game, it's $1,200 more. I don't know. I think they're going to lose a lot of sales, but that's one way for Stern to catch up, right?
They did that with Elvira, right? Where they
They
cranked
did
price
do that
there
with Elvira.
mid-order. Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's
these,
basically, if it's not in stock, they feel justified in
Yeah.
raising the pricing. But that, not that I have much sympathy for distributors, but it is an uncomfortable call that they do then have to make, because you can't assume that someone's still in at additional 500.
you can't. No.
Well, I just don't like the principle of it. Like as a consumer, when you agree to buy something, it's like, okay, here's my price, and then you can't jack the price midstream just because you agreed on a price. Like, this is what I agreed to pay, and now just because either you're running into part shortages or whatever, your cost of deliveries went up, or labor or whatever, that's not my problem. We agreed on a price.
You would hope, but you would hope that people could be grandfathered in, right? Like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, I think it gets
But-
a little murky when Stern hasn't taken any deposit money, so they don't feel like they have a contractual. I mean, your arrangements with the distributor, and the distributor also hasn't prepaid for your game either. So I think that's where they're falling.
Good point. And I don't think, now if Spooky in 6 months was like, hey, everybody whose Halloween hasn't been made yet, we need another $500, that would probably not fly, right?
Yeah,
because they've already
once you're taking
accepted.
pre-orders.
It's all paid.
Same with Stern and the LEs. I mean, they were taking deposits on those, and now they're taking full payment on those, so you can't get away with jacking the price on the LEs.
I found that a little shocking that they were doing that, but maybe they're just trying to separate again the flippers and people that are just sort of in it short term.
I think it's another thing to try and play against the flipper, the flipper that gets the spot, and then it's like, hey, I want to make $3,000 real quick without actually having to spend a dime.
I think, yeah.
93.
Just a random comment about this game that I'm playing. I'm in Redline Mania, which Redline Mania is a pretty cool mode. It kills the flippers to get into it, and it'll kill the flippers when the mode's over. Personally, I'm a big fan of that. Anytime a game has a moment that it kills the flippers, I'm all in. I don't know.
So you must like draining and losing a lot.
That's my favorite. I get that moment all the time. No, I don't like that.
Is that a spinning car? There's a spinning car at the top.
Yeah,
right?
it's pretty dumb.
We have this game on location, and I guess the car flew off or something because we only have a spinning stick. And I asked someone, why is this stick spinning? And they go, oh, no, there's a car on it. I go, no, there isn't. There's a stick.
Yeah. Soap on a rope. Yeah. Please stand by with the engine's cool. Got it. I don't know. Personally, I'm a big fan of like Hobbit. Hobbit has when you actually kill Smaug, however you say it. It actually. Don't do this to me. You did this to me before.
Why'd you take a ball out?
Yeah, you saw me do it, right?
I love these modes where the ball is missing.
Yeah, love it. Wait, what? Joe Soap? Soap on a rope. And this guy, Joe Soap, hops in chat. Wait, what? We're talking about you, Joe. That's what's going on. Yeah. All right.
So, here's something that I didn't immediately love when I saw Godzilla was that, and I went back on the Stern website just to make sure I wasn't dreaming. I didn't really love the color palette they chose for this machine. And if you go back and look at the last 4 releases, 3 out of the 4, Mandalorian, this one, and Avengers, are all pulling from these red and orange and yellow color palettes, right? Predominantly yellow and orange.
Very warm, yeah.
And I just wish they had chosen a different, direction on that. Zombie Yeti's art is amazing in and of itself. It's incredibly detailed. I don't love always the way he's done Godzilla's skin, but it is what it is. But beyond that, the playfield is packed with tons of detail. So, he did a great job, but I'm just the color palette really that was the only thing I was sort of like, again, cuz I just feel like it's like I'm staring at that, and I love yellows and oranges. I love it, but it's like, if I was lining these up, I'd be like, what the hell? They're all the same.
I have not seen the movies. Dennis, you have, but correct me if I'm wrong. Those movies don't look like the art, right?
Yeah.
Well, because real life doesn't look like the art, and those were live action.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
I'm just. Yeah, I don't know if you got to the part. I talked about it on TPS because I think Zach said that he thought this was Zombie Yeti's greatest art package, and I'm like, how can you tell it apart?
Yeah.
It's no offense. I mean, his ability to draw is not questioned.
Oh, it's incredible.
But he took yet again a comic book style. And there are Godzilla comics, and that is not what this pin was based on. So I just think the decision to greenlight an art package that's going with a comic book approach was a very odd one. And if you were still going to do that, I think I would look more towards someone like Matt Frank, who's known for his Godzilla and Power Rangers for that matter, but his Godzilla artwork. And it's just like the colors are more muted, or what I would call a realistic palette. And I'm no art expert, but I'm like, this is. I almost wondered. I imagine Jeremy got to pick what he wanted to do, and they gave him the freedom to do it. But when I saw it, my initial reaction was, does Stern mandate that you just oversaturate and dump orange and yellow everywhere at this point? Because pinheads are just like, the colors pop, and they can't resist. Y'all can't help yourselves if you skittle this shit.
Well, so really what it sounds like is somebody needs to buy a Godzilla and just leave it outside in the sun for like 3 months. And just let the whole cabinet and all the playfield fade a good bit. And then it'll be right where everybody wants it, right? I mean, is that... I mean,
Some people, and there are plenty that love it the way it is. And I can't say that it's badly drawn. So
Oh, no,
it's like
no, yeah.
art is like the bottom of any, like that would never influence my decision to buy. You could Photoshop,
Yeah.
or you could do hand, oil painted Alex Ross, get him to do pinball. It doesn't matter to me. It would, if the game's
So,
good,
yeah.
I want the game. So
Seraph here, so it's Iron Maiden was much more muted, but Godzilla art has more detail. He does the detail in this is absurd. Yeah, for sure.
And Jeremy can do other, like, he's just been I feel he's been leaning on this ultra saturated comic style a whole lot lately, but he didn't do it on Iron Maiden and he didn't do it on Ghostbusters.
Yeah, right.
Bumper Nugget, it's been a while. Yeah, who's all on the mic? It's Craig Bobby and Dennis Creasel right now. So, yeah, that's who's on. Jeremy discussed his choice of color palette on the Stern Insider reveal interview. He tried a blander old movie style and hated the colors. Interesting. I mean, as an artist, you want to be proud of what you're doing. You want to enjoy your work. But I'm looking right now at Turtles. Turtles is not warm at all. I mean, it's all cool colors, greens and blues. Throws in some pinks, purples. I love it. So Turtles was definitely unique, and then Deadpool was similar, cool colors, red. Like it was purple. There was red, but obviously there has to be red for Deadpool, but he really offset that with blues and purples. But I get it. I agree. I think Avengers and Godzilla side by side. I see that. I totally see what you mean.
Yep.
Almost like both were being worked on at the same time.
Potentially.
And we got the layers mixed up. I do it a lot when I'm trying to mock up a Nordman. I'll get those layers mixed up, and I'm just like, whatever. No one cares. It's just pinball.
Dude, Dennis, Nordman is here to stay, buddy. That's it makes me laugh. You do it well. It's pretty amazing. If I was Dennis Nordman and somebody said, "Hey, dude, have you been listening to this? I need you to listen to this." I don't know. So, I don't know. I would. I mean, I have a good sense of humor, so I would laugh it off. But I hope.
Yeah,
I can
think
only
it's
hope
best
he
doesn't
loves it.
listen.
I can only hope he loves it. Like I asked
Zach's saying he's going to send him a shirt, so I don't know if this is a new shirt he's getting done,
Well-
or it's a one-off or what.
Did he send Gomez a My Homie Gomi hat?
He did.
He did.
But he actually let Gomez. I think. No, maybe I'm probably wrong. I was gonna say I thought Gomez got to greenlight his shirt. Dwight did. Dwight got to greenlight the Blinded by Dwight, which I think his response was, I don't get it, but okay.
But
Like, okay, I don't see why anyone would buy it, but okay.
Yeah. What do we got? Seraph, Methadone's comment. Yeah. Jeremy just, yeah. I need to, unfortunately, I am not a member of the Stern Insider program, so.
You host 2 podcasts and 2 streams, and you are not a Stern. I'm not either.
No, I get my music, I just get it from other people, you know? I wait to hear.
I'm sorry, I don't deal with podcasts that I can't put in an RSS feed.
Yeah,
in a podcast
behind a paywall, yeah. I mean, that's
Well,
my biggest issue.
I guess it comes
yeah.
out after a week or something.
Exactly.
So plebes can have it.
I listen to it later. I'll listen to it.
I'm like, that. The way that is, I'm just sort of, to me, it's like, why is that? Should again, I don't understand all of that Stern decides to do for its promotional stuff. I mean, you mentioned earlier, Joel, the frustration about the not being able to tell where all the shots were in what they've shown so far, and it's like, well, because Stern never does a proper tease video, a promo video that really gives you a feel. It's always the live stream that's first, and you know something's going to go wrong on the live stream because it goes wrong every time.
I agree. I will say, I mean, that's what's awesome about, I mean, props to Zach, because that the GNR reveal was really well done. I mean, we had like 30 minutes of media to consume the moment everything dropped, and we were able to learn all of it. It was awesome. In Joel's defense, this isn't a Stern game. This is not. You are right. Yeah. Dennis, what do you think of the playfield? Looks more unique than Stern's recent designs. No?
Yeah, all of the Elwyn stuff seems to. I mean, I'm starting to see some similarities with where he likes to put his extra flippers and stuff, but which we would expect. I think the playfield looks exciting. I want to play it.
Yep, I'm with you.
But to be fair, you know, actually, I think Stern's moved away a lot from the outside of, and now Richie's not there anymore. Outside of Richie, it started to feel that way. Like Mandalorian doesn't look like anything else to me. I thought Turtles looked pretty unique too.
Yep. I agree. And Brian Eddy, I mean, Mando was very different. It was very, you know, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Zach can say whatever he wants. Stranger Things was an AFM shot layout. Yeah, they fed in different spots, but it's basically a modern AFM. But Mando is unique.
Great job.
Here we go. Bob, another question for Dennis. Which market is currently hotter, watches or pinball? Pin Stadium, how you doing, Scott? Thank you much. Thank you.
I guess I define pinball as hotter because there are so many watch manufacturers. There are plenty of watches you can get without waiting, and that's not true for pinball.
There you go, Dennis. This one's for you. Nordman. Boom. Nordman
Sure,
high
he'd
score.
be proud to be associated
sure.
with this game.
You're saying, Mervin, there is no shot through the pops. You are totally correct. I do really like the one pop. I think that's
I like that too.
I mean, I'm a fan of that, obviously, on
Scott
TNA.
Denise is probably like, that's my idea. You stole it. Precious.
You bastard.
Well, I just think it's funny because everybody's like, all Stern games have to have 3 pop bumpers. Brian Eddy, Stranger Things, 2
that
pop
used to
bumpers.
be from what I've heard, this is second or third hand, but that used to be a Gary Stern edict.
That makes sense, yeah. But it was, Brian Eddy, 2 pop bumpers on Stranger Things, upper right corner. Then he releases Mando, 2 pop bumpers on Mando. And now Keith comes in with 1. 1 pop bumper. So, who's going to be, I bet it'll be Brian Eddy. Who will be the first designer without no pop bumpers on a Stern Pro? Do you think we'll do that again? I mean, because Brian Eddy had Shadow. Shadow had no pop bumpers. Not a single one.
No, I don't think so.
Huh? Okay.
I like the poor pop bumper.
Yeah?
You know, I like it. I still like it.
I mean, my favorite
I like the
pop
retro
bumper,
feel of it, you know?
Okay, so Turtles, the pop bumpers up there don't really do anything for me. I mean, it gives you a break. It gives you a chance to breathe. Similar to Deadpool, when the shot goes up there and gets in the pops, the only time it's advantageous is when you have something going on that's all about switch hits, but otherwise it's just a take a breath. My favorite pop bumper by far in pinball is TNA. And Dennis, you gotta agree with me on that. I mean, that pop bumper is like...
Yeah, especially of a modern game.
Yeah.
It's really well executed. But a lot about TNA, you know, I wouldn't really change a whole lot. It's not my favorite single level layout, but it's up there.
That's Hoops. Is that right?
No, actually, my favorite was Silver Slugger.
Oh, cool. Sarah Norman quote, "The night is darkest right before the dawn, and I promise you Deep Root is coming." Wow, instead of vengeance. Isn't that it? The actual Batman quote? Do you know what we're talking about there, Dennis? It's like
yeah, I think that's the case. I'm trying.
Yeah.
There's so many Batman quotes, and the problem is I've also seen all of the College Humor Batman that I get them
you get them mixed up. Yeah.
Because I've thought about doing like a Harvey Dent Trust one. Have you seen the Batman?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I've thought about like having a Nordman be like, Gary Stern, can we trust him?
You should. You could. Yeah.
He sat on my Elvira House of Horrors for 3 years. I almost died of boredom.
Oh boy.
Swear to me.
Sort of. Yeah. You just need to throw in a "Where's Rachel" every once in a while. Elwin said he has 2 pops but needed a scoop. Dude, your Raisin Bran comment, I was dying when you put that on TPN, and then it blew me away that he actually put a scoop in his game. I was really surprised that there was a scoop in that game. I wonder.
He probably lost a bet or something with Gomez and
had to do it.
Yeah.
Joe
You must
Danner.
scoop.
Thank you for the follow. Yeah.
It's probably a dare. I double dog dare you, Elwin, to put a scoop in.
You won't do it. And he'll be
Yeah,
like,
come
all
at
right,
me,
I'll
bro.
do it.
I
I'll do
will."
it. But I'm going to take out a pop bumper. No, you won't. You won't. Yeah.
What's Scott Denisi gonna do? Cry about it? Oh, poor little baby. I stole his idea.
Oh, man. I do like the shots through the pops. Shots through the pops are pretty sick. I will agree with that. Those are a lot of fun.
Well, there's kind of a shot through the side of the pop to the scoop.
True. Seraph saying, I
Not
think the
really.
area of the play
It's not
field
at all
looks
right.
like the Hippo Lane on Congo. I've heard a lot about that. I've heard that Keith Elwin really likes Congo. He said that before. And he really likes the original Godzilla game. So I'll be very curious. The original Godzilla game, I don't really know anything about the code. Was that a game that you can stack a lot of stuff? Was that like a thing about it? Do you know, Dennis?
I only played it once. So I don't.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever played it.
It was a fun shooter. I played it at a show, but
Because somebody, was that on a podcast? Somebody made a comment about that. Like, Bram Stoker's Dracula is well loved, and it's all about stacking. Like, you want to get that perfect stack. So the question is anybody going to do that again? And Hypercoaster Tommy, yes, it's all about stacking the multi-balls. Tommy, exactly. So I'm curious if Keith will do something similar in this game. If there will be
Kiefer over at JJP, he loves stacking multi-balls. He puts that on all his games.
True. Yeah. Is it stacking when it's just constant? Is that the...
I guess technically.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not it's fun, you can decide for yourself.
George, don't panic flip. How you doing, buddy? OMG, Dennis is on. Dennis and Craig Bobby. Yeah.
From the Pinball Show.
Yeah, Craig, when are we going to have a pinball show midweek edition?
Midweek. I know. I've been in quiet retirement.
We just
During
always
the
assumed you
pandemic,
were-
You
yeah.
and Jesse J have given up.
It was
you need
it was an unofficial. I sort of just wanted to go away, but I may be back.
I don't
may be back.
understand because podcasting is the easiest creative
Yeah.
way you can engage in any hobby.
yeah. Oh,
Not like
compared
not
to
like the
not
streaming
like
with
streaming.
Joel.
Oh
here.
no!
Look at all this work.
Look at all the work that I've done. I mean, streaming, getting everything set up is work. But once it's set up, I mean, Craig saw me setting it up for about 2 minutes. I was like, all right, here we go. Boom,
Here
hit
we go.
start. Hey, everybody, I got 20-something people watching me suck at playing this game, but we're having a good time, right? That's the plan. See Bobby and Dennis, yes. Yeah, but in Godzilla 98, it's like the only way to play, get 4 or 5 multi-balls. I get it. I understand. Bram Stoker's, there's one thing to do. Sounds like Godzilla, there's one thing to do. I highly doubt Keith is going to ever make a game that there's only one thing to do. But I don't know. I'm curious. You know he's going to have some tie-in, but what's your thoughts on Hot Wheels now that you've put a few games on it, Joel? I will say this game gets... this game is better than people think it is. I thought the same thing about Led Zeppelin. A lot of people see Led Zeppelin for a little bit and they're like, that game blows. When you own it and you have a chance to just play it, there's way more here. And what I will say is the main positive thing that I've gotten from this game is actually less about Hot Wheels and more about American Pinball. This game is built like a tank. It's built incredibly well. I'm impressed by the company a lot. So if American Pinball released a game with a theme that I cared more about, I'd give them I'd highly endorse. I would not bat an eye at ordering it from them. What I do like, I like games that give me a lot of direction. Like, that's why I really like Deadpool. It is more linear. It gives me a lot of direction. This game, you can do so many different things at any time, and they can all be going at the same time that I do lose focus. But the one night that I played with Becca and Jordan on the mic with me, they were like giving me suggestions of what to do. They were my direction. I enjoyed that a lot. So, Bumper Nugget, question for Dennis. As a fellow owner of The Walking Dead, what mods, if any, do you like?
I typed it in chat, but I actually don't have any mods other than a shaker motor in My Walking Dead. I've always been partial though to some of the signs that you put. With Hot Wheel Hasbro toy that thing up a little bit, give it a little more atmosphere.
There you go.
For like the terminus and like roof on the barn. There was a cool mod that I remember that I looked at, but it was like $150. So, and I'm such a cheap skate. Where you put in like a little TV that would run clips from the film.
I wish you would just have one clip, and it's the Rick Grimes going, Coral! Just that. Just that
So
one
they have
clip.
to advertise it is a picture of Coral's dumb face.
Coral! Just that for 5-second clip over and over and over again.
Have you guys been watching the last season of the most recent season?
I have.
I
It's
think
okay.
we're like 2 seasons behind. I don't know. I want to see it end. I want to see.
I thought
it in,
season
but
10 was horrific. I thought it was one of their worst seasons. Beyond,
Yeah, well, the weird break they did,
Yeah.
and then the whole second half in particular was super weak.
it was so slow.
I mean, it was. I don't think I'd seen anything that slow since season 2.
Yeah. You knew every episode was going to be like, okay, who are they going to pair off for a 30-minute one-on-one with each other? I was like, Jesus, is anyone going to die in this season, or what the hell is happening?
Only
I remember
from
back, like, you know, like every episode of the early seasons, it was like someone was going down. You just didn't. That's what made it so great.
Dying all the time.
Yeah.
I think they
But
realized.
Walking Dead, the Pen, no matter how bad the show gets in what season, the Pen is an excellent pen. I'm really glad I got that the year before the pandemic when the prices were still actually cheaper than new.
Dennis, if they vaulted The Walking Dead with like a comic book art type style, would you consider?
With the zombie yeti yellow and gold art package.
No, because as I noted earlier, art's so low on my buy priority.
Oh, you don't care? Yeah.
No, because I already own it. I mean,
True.
You know, it'd be like Star Wars. Would I rather have comic art than the Stern original art package? Absolutely,
Yeah.
but I'd buy whichever one was cheaper.
Good
Because
point.
it's gameplay
Because you
that
don't care.
matters.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, if I think a game I'm going to keep, I would consider mods for Walking Dead because I'm not planning to move it anywhere. I've gotten some mods for my Star Trek for the same reason.
What was the season with the war and no one could aim a gun? No one was dying that year. What? Oh, you're saying the Walking Dead? Yeah, I think Walking Dead is definitely in a situation where there's a lot of favorite characters. Like a lot of people, anybody that's stuck around this long has a favorite character. And I think the writers are almost at a point where, well, if we kill off her, there goes 10% of our audience. If we kill off him, there goes 10%. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, the show, if you want to say, even though it tied with the comics, they eliminated a major character as per the comics, but at that point, I think the way they did it shocked a lot of people, and their shock turned to anger, and that's kind of when the show lost a whole lot of viewers, and they'll never recover from that. But otherwise, for me, it's really been, they've changed writing teams a lot, and some of the writing teams are just really weak.
Dalton's here. Dalton, how you doing, buddy? Do a tap pass. Still need to figure out how to do that way better.
I also find the show's kind of stalled out in my mind too, because you know it's basically just season after season of them coming up against different foes who are all basically the same. Oh, here's another person trying to kill us.
It's like first there was the governor, and then and then there was like 2 episodes of Terminus, and then there was we gotta deal with Negan, and then it was no, the Whisperers, and now it's an evil cultist mercenary group, and you're always like, they always have to do maybe they're not so bad of a group, and then they have to do something super horrific, so you're like, oh, okay, they are bad.
We're gonna throw this guy's face in the fire and burn it right off.
But of course, early before they really did a whole lot of that, because the governor was pretty early on. But they were. It was always my least favorite thing is with a show that's gone for 11 seasons, is when they decide they're gonna get cute, and the way it's so predictable. It's let's take someone's personality and 180 it.
Yeah.
And break them. And early on, it was terrible because it was with Rick. It was always, is it democracy or is it the Rick-tatorship? And it just like he'd flip between the two every season, and then Carol, who for the longest time was a super strong character, they just like gave her PTSD at one point for no obvious over the most she killed kids before, and now she's like flipping out because she had to eat a squirrel.
Yep.
What is this? It doesn't make sense. This is not realistic. This is not what breaks people.
737
I
TV.
should know. I've been through so many zombie apocalypses. I know.
The debates are on Sundays, will Negan die as a hero or a villain? Bumper Nugget pretty quick. Yeah, he killed Glenn, so you're not coming back from that. Yeah.
The way they've set it up, I would do a girl with the cake. Why not both?
Yeah, it stopped being even remotely scary. Yeah, it's obvious the first few seasons they were actually like scared of zombies, and
Well, when things can't move fast and they don't use weapons, you know, it got to the point where I think they were just like, well, humans are the true monsters.
I like how
yeah.
they tried last season too. They were like, let's have 2 people out in the field and there's 3 zombies, and then all of a sudden someone stumbles and it's really close that they almost get it, and then the other person's there just magically sticks a knife in their face just as they're about to get eaten, you know? And that was like end scene.
Yeah. The thing with the current final season has been the advent of what I have been referring to as the stealth zombie, though, where all of a sudden the zombies are like taking naps, and people are like, we can't wake the zombies, and then they'll be like, oh, we got to clear this building out, get rid of the 4 zombies, and then all of a sudden there are 20 more coming from a field. Oh, we didn't hear them. Oh, look, they breached the wall. Did you hear the wall fall? No, it was a stealth wall. The wall fell with a silencer on it.
Yeah, where did these sleeping zombies come from? That's you're right.
Tired. After 11 seasons, you would be tired too.
They're tired and hungry. True. Okay, they're tired and hungry.
Zombie.
I mean, I might. I don't know. My wife and I, we watched it religiously, but I think we're like 2 seasons behind. And
I babble when I watch the show. I do this with a lot of shows. Like I color commentate them, and so I don't know if you've ever played Zen Studios with Sorcerer's Lair. The free table for a long time. Okay, well, anyway, it's about a haunted mansion, and there's a scoop in that virtual pin that's real easy to hit. It's near the front center of the flippers, and it's for the helpful ghost that's named Whisper. It's basically the Casper of the game. And when you shoot the shot and it's not ready for Whisper to help you, it says, Whisper isn't here yet. One of the little kids who's narrating the game. Whisper isn't here yet. So every time there were whispers, I'm always just like, Whisper isn't here yet.
Oh, wow.
Where's Whisper? No. Are the whispers out there in the field? No, Whisper isn't here yet. There are no whisperers. I'm sure that if people were around me, they would find me quite annoying.
Oh, they'd be laughing at every joke.
No, I don't think so. My jokes are only about 30% effective.
Hey, if you enjoy the show more doing it that way, go for it.
I just wish they'd bring back the governor. I don't care what excuse.
I love the governor.
Bring back the governor.
Best. Yeah.
I mean, the governor and Negan were both pretty amazing.
Negan was always so chewing the scenery, though. It's like watching Wrath of Khan with Khan.
Oh, man.
Though I do wish that Cleveland would do a new sound mod for Walking Dead, Stern Walking Dead, with even more Negan lines.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have the Cleveland mod, I assume, on yours?
Yeah. Okay. Now that's the one thing.
That's one mod you'll do.
Re-release the game with some real call-outs. Maybe that would get me to budge. Because oh my god, that original sound package is pretty cringe.
Is it horrible? Yeah.
I mean, it's so fake Southern. I mean, they might as well have paid me to do it. Y'all gotta get yourself a Whale Walker multi-ball. I mean, it's not fun like Rowdy Ramp Rounds. I mean, that's fun. But not. Ooh, Riot. No one says Riot like that. What were they thinking? Why couldn't they get Chloe from 24 to do the call-outs? Ooh, jackpot.
Somebody needs to make...
That's an A+ impression, by the way.
He should troll the community and say, I'm releasing a new Cleveland mod, and then that's what he does. Is he actually just puts in those call-outs, you know, like an April Fool's.
I was at a local tournament pre-pandemic, and there was I think he was a new player, probably new to pinball in general, you know, in terms of a hobby, and I don't know why, but I decided I was going to convince him that I voiced Storm's call-outs in the Storm. I think he did believe it, but I'm not sure. I don't think he played it, though.
Your impression of them are that good? I've heard
no,
someone
I don't
say,
think he knew the game.
I heard someone say Godzilla isn't going to be as deep as his recent games. I don't know.
I've heard someone say in an interview.
Who said that? Yeah.
No, it was. I think in an interview, someone had. It might have been a Loser Kid interview or Super Awesome. Pinball I didn't hear the interview. Oh, it must have been super awesome then, because I listened to Loser Kid. But anyway, someone had written up what the question was, and I think he had said it was going to be more like Iron Maiden, so that's where people are saying,
Yes.
oh, it is deep, because Iron Maiden's not as deep. I gotta admit, I was always confused by Iron Maiden. I understand Jurassic Park better than Iron Maiden, but
Yeah.
I mean, they're all fun.
They're far from shallow. They're far from shallow.
Maybe the thought is I mean, my speculation was maybe that means there's less stacking, because it seems like it's a mode-driven, like you're trying to get to Planet X.
Mm-hmm.
Heard it's going to be Stranger Things code on the Godzilla machine. It's going Chris the Pinturn, yeah, right. Iron Maiden is still pretty deep. I know, no, that's what, I mean, there are coders out there that are, I don't know.
I don't think it's going to, if people are worried it's going to be Munsters, I don't think it's going to be Munsters.
Oh, no.
Stern
There's
learned
no
their
way.
lesson on that. They learned their lesson. Y'all don't want, there was a time where you wanted an Iron Man, but that time has passed.
There's no way.
Keith would never do that to you.
I am curious. I haven't asked. I don't know if Raymond is working on this code at all, because he worked on Avengers, which was super helpful. Because whenever I streamed Avengers, there was a few times Raymond would hop on the mic with me, and I mean, he obviously knows the code. He freaking wrote it all. So
Maybe it's a secret.
somebody just needs to ask him. He is not. Oh, flip it out, Zach.
Zach doesn't know.
Apparently he does. I didn't know Zach was here. How you doing, Zach?
That's Nicole.
That's Nicole. Even better.
Can't you tell?
Just here to only report the factual. Yeah. Okay. Hey Zach, has Godzilla outsold Mando yet? We were just curious.
I'll tell you what I just to quickly circle back to the art package that Zombie had posted on his Facebook page was that on the LE, I think the foil, whatever they call it, sticker that they're going to use is going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, they print it on some sort of metallic foil sticker. Yeah, so that's what the super limited edition on Batman 66 had, and I think there was another game that had it. But
and Zach did confirm it's safe to touch, unlike the Raiders of the Lost Ark topper.
Yep, that's good to know. Really good to know. No, there's no way that's not going to look good. So I'm in a bit of a, I'm in a weird situation because I'm actually pretty confident about that I'm going to upgrade my Deadpool. I'm actually very confident.
To a P3?
To a P3, no, to a premium. To a premium. But the reality is I don't like the side art nearly as much as I like the side art on the Pro.
I see.
But part of me doesn't really care though, because I don't know, all my games are in a lineup, so...
I was going to say, put it in the middle of your lineup if it bugs you that much.
Yeah. Not yet. What is Ray Day up to? Bill from Memphis? I don't know. He's got to be working on something. Put it in between other games, exactly. Yeah. Same question I asked Dennis earlier. What mods, if any? Oh, so Bumper Nugget, you're asking Zach if there's any Walking Dead mods that he would recommend. Number one, he'd say Topper, right?
First ever talked in person with Zach was at a pinball show. Jeff from This Week in Pinball introduced us, and Zach had, if I recall correctly, just got done modifying his Walking Dead, sticking in all red LED lights.
Oh,
so just
boy.
drenched in blood. That is not an appropriate mod.
That's I think, that's an accurate comment. The Hobbit has 31 modes, should be baseline target for new games. I dig games that I'm still discovering stuff after years of playing. 737, I had a Hobbit for over a year. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I agree. It is nice having, when you only have so many modes, and you have to play them over and over again. I get it, but 31 too. 31 is a lot of modes. I don't.
You could get rid of Deadpool and get Hobbit back.
Yeah.
I could.
Schmauga.
Because Deadpool is essentially 5 modes. You have 3 villains and 2 modes, and then you have a multi-ball, and then you get to do them again. So
it's basically Munsters.
Yeah, basically. But at the same time, I don't agree. I mean, I don't care. Like, I thoroughly enjoy all of them. I don't know. It's
Go for turbo boost.
If only you could collect them all, like the Pokemons.
there we go. So how many Pokemon mode if they ever do Pokemon, how many modes are there going to be? One per character? 200 and something?
Well, you know, they'd probably base it off of some particular version, and then someone would whine that the entire Pokédex wasn't included.
That's got to be there'll be somebody. Obviously, there'll be the one character missing out. So, Dennis, here are the things that Zach said you need, which is obviously the topper, back tank for the pro, tower mod is a must, walker pants, prison roof mod, railroad track mod. The greatest mod is a one-off custom Zach Mini Negan McFarlane barbed bat, about 13 inches long. Here's Zach bragging about his length again. Yeah.
Oh, the back tank actually is really cool. I have thought about that.
What is the back tank? What is that?
It's like a back fish tank that I think goes over the right ramp.
Get out of here! Like, and that's from the guy that you said that one season with the
governor had the fish tank
yeah,
with the heads
fish
in it.
tank. Okay,
Yeah, there's a fish tank head topper, but there's a mod that Measle Mods has. I think it's about $56 or so. That goes over the back ramp, and it's illuminated fish tank. I've thought about it. Actually, I'd probably get it if I see him at a show.
Isn't it?
When I'm willing to pay cash, I'm much more susceptible.
Isn't it the same? So isn't the
the
topper
impulse
a
buy.
fish tank? So he has a fish tank topper and a fish tank in the back?
Well, yeah, Zach can say, but he knows about toppers,
Yeah.
so I don't know if the topper was what the deal was, but obviously the mod for the fish tank is for pro units, because I think I don't remember if the fish tank was there on the premium LE or if they have something else in that spot.
Oh, got it. Okay.
I should remember we had an LE on location for years. The reason I never got Walking Dead right away was I had only played an LE, and that I wasn't willing to pay the price of the premium, and I didn't know if I would like it as a pro. And then I finally got to try a pro like in 2018. I was like, okay, it's fun too. I'm willing.
So where did you buy your Walking Dead new or used?
No, I think a guy out in Colorado had been trying to sell it for. This was the old days of 2019. Was trying to sell it for over a month. I paid $4,200 for that.
Oh wow.
Wow. What a deal.
Did you pick it up or you had it shipped or what?
No, I paid additional shipping. But the game was $4,200.
Nice. Bill from Memphis. Yeah, what's wrong with the complaint with Monsters is shallow code. Like if you're a decent player, you can burn through that game pretty quick. I prefer that you don't know my actual name. I'm on your list though. Oh, yeah, that was I looked up at just the wrong time. Dropped that ball right down. Yeah. Well, you can think that standard back panel 3D fish tank on premium. Oh, so that 3D fish tank's already on the premium in LE. Got it. Speaking of shows, booked my hotel room for Expo. Ready to meet some of you fools in person. Bob, UC Cash, I'm all for it. I don't. Dennis, are you going to Pinball Expo?
Yeah, I have my hotel.
Awesome. I have not done that yet, but I definitely plan on doing that.
Don't
You will
go.
be sleeping in the house.
I hear it sucks. Don't go.
Yeah. I heard Jedi Tommy said that he may have I think he has a 2 queen bed, so I may be bumming one of those. So we'll see. Mr. Hopwood, how you doing, man?
Well,
The border's not going to be open yet, Craig, would it?
no, I know they're keeping us out.
You could fly over the border.
Here's the problem, Craig. I would love the border open so people like you and Jeff Teolis can come in. But the fact that the border's closed, and that means Dennis Friesel is still in Canada, I'm okay with that.
Hody do, hody do.
I'm okay with that. Alright, what am I doing here? Just hit the blue shots. I really like, in this game, I really like the arrows that strobe. I think there's 2 or 3 LEDs in each one of those arrows. That is very nice. That is very nice.
What makes it nice?
I don't know, it's a cool effect. I like it. I don't know.
Ooh,
It's directional. I like it.
Oh, I thought you meant maybe it was helpful.
Oh, I mean, I still, yes, if that was solidly lit or blinking or strobing, I still understand I'm supposed to hit that shot. But it's a cool, I like it. I am very curious to see on stream, they're advertising what on Godzilla, this like, I don't know, when the ball goes in the in lane, it's I mean, there's 3 lights in there, so is it like pop, pop, pop? Are they gonna light up? I don't know. It's gonna be some sort of cue to visually show the balls are coming in the in lane. But
It's probably to shoot your smart missile.
yeah, there you go. 737. I play Hobbit at a local spot, but keep missing ownership opportunities. Last one that came up local wasn't price stupid. Yeah, 737. I had it, and I traded it for 3 games, and I valued the trade at $7,000. That was like 2-3 years ago, and now they're selling for like over 10. It's crazy. But
According to the banning auction, I should have sat on my Superman.
That auction was just absurd in every way. I also had a Simpsons at one point in time, and I think I sold it for like $4,800, and now they're close to $7,000. I mean, everything's going up. Early last year, you could pick up a Hobbit for a little over $6,000. I know, Seraph, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yes, notice the strobing arrows just before is a cool feature. So, like on this game, if you hit this right ramp, when the ball comes down here, it actually, all the lights in this battle strobe. It's like, I mean, it's a cool effect. Yeah, Bitbar sold theirs for 65. Yeah, oh, got it. Yeah, Hobbit used to be a lot cheaper. Dennis, I know you love Hobbit. I know you love hearing about it. I know you love talking it. I know you love playing it. I know you love Hobbit.
Well, it was a somewhat popular game. So. What can I say?
Great movie.
No.
I'll tell you who's responsible.
What?
Why? Because I
No.
That book is like 30 pages. There were more hours in the movie than there were pages in the book.
Yeah. The game didn't get better in time, by the way. Crazy price. Oh, the game didn't get... It's funny, when I owned it, I was newer in the hobby. I freaking loved Hobbit. I loved the immersion. I loved the way it... I loved everything about it. And I sold it just because every single time I played it, it was 45 minutes. I mean, I couldn't... I realized I was playing less pinball because I couldn't do it quickly. And
Well, it's because the ball's just floating around the freaking
but that's the
playfield.
thing. I didn't know that. That's when I went to our local arcade bar a few weeks back, and I played a bunch of Stranger Things and a bunch of Deadpool Premium, and I played something else, and then I was like, well, I got to play Hobbit, and I got on there, and I was like, holy cow! Like I totally forgot. Like this ball is moving so slow. Like it's so much slower than any modern Stern. I mean,
Yeah.
and I get it now. I mean, that's what everybody's complaint was, but if it's your only game, you don't realize it.
Yeah. That's what killed it for me when I actually went to go play it. I was all gunned up to buy that game for my first game. And when I went to play it, I'm like, and there were all the other Sterns, just like you said, and I was playing the Sterns. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna have more fun. And I couldn't really figure it out at first. I'm like, what the hell? And every time I went back to it was the same thing. I either wanted a Pirates or a Hobbit. And both of those games were so slow, I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. Even though I like the themes better, I'm not enjoying playing these games.
So, who said it? And Dennis, it may have been you, somebody on Pinball Show, but somebody said, do you think there's a chance now that Steve Ritchie is at JJP, and Steve Ritchie obviously likes speed, do you think there's some way that Steve is basically going to be like, you got to change your flippers, you know, or on my game, you got to give me snappy flippers, you know, like you... Dennis, you weren't the one who said that, right? Am I asking you about something you said? Somebody said it in a podcast.
One of the other podcasts were talking about that. Yeah, that they were going to recode them or something like that.
Joe Windrader, now he'll be the king of slow. That's pretty good. It plays forever too. You got to block out some time. I know. I mean, Hobbit. If you want to commit to. I mean, if you got 45 minutes, it's a great game. It's a great game to get lost in, and the wizard modes are exceptional.
It's a beautiful looking game. Yeah.
But
so many assets in that game, like video assets in it as well.
I mean, I don't know of a game that has better theme integration. And then music, the music and the call-outs. I know it's not Sir Ian McKellen that's doing the Gandalf voice, but the voice actor is legit. So,
yeah, you don't really pick that up right away when you're playing it.
Yeah.
I think Hobbit was probably the lead theme integration game until Guns N' Roses, but the level of band support with it, I can't really think of anything that, I mean, they truly had everything.
So this was a random thought I had earlier when we were talking about Godzilla art. If technically there will probably be another American pinball game released this year, and then
At Expo.
At Expo, and then there should be a probably Rush if it ends up being Rush. But if we had to vote now for the TWIPY or the Pinball Industry Award for best art, what do you think? Where do you think we'd be? What game do you think would win that one?
I give it to Mandalorian right now, personally.
Yeah, I think so too.
So what do you have? You have Mando. Technically, you have Led Zeppelin
Yep.
because Led Zeppelin was last year, but it counts for this year in both of those award shows. So Led Zeppelin, Mando, Godzilla, right? And then is that it? Is
So
any other?
far.
Yeah.
I mean, is that it? I mean, yeah, I think.
Well, because Cactus Canyon won't count because it's a rehash.
Okay. So
You'll probably see American Pinball at Expo with whatever fest, or I don't know what they're doing.
the Sorcerer game, but I don't think that counts because it's not a new playfield, right?
Well,
So-
there's only the I don't think that
Halloween.
there's
Halloween
like a new
and
magnet.
Ultraman.
Oh,
for
Halloween.
The,
You're right.
There's a new
Yeah.
magnet for the apron.
And Ultraman.
Yeah. So
These three games don't have real art.
but that's a good question. I mean, I agree. Halloween and Ultraman, they have some
yeah.
killer art.
Yeah, you're right.
Killer art.
Halloween and Ultraman. You know what? They might. I don't know.
Yeah.
Ultraman was pretty good.
I don't know. I bet, but I'm with you. I think. I mean, once again, I'm not Jeremy Packer. I'm blown away with your talent, but I do think overall, probably the Mando art has probably been received more. So I think the top three is probably going to end up being Mando, Ultraman, or Halloween. I think it's going to be between those three, personally. Yeah, which is kind of crazy if Jeremy Packer is not going to be in the top three. Jeremy Packer will win TWIPY on name recognition alone. Interesting thought, Zach. I don't think the Mando playfield is that good. Love the cab, though. I agree. I mean, those are some good art packages. Those. So really, the only one we're for sure of is Led Zeppelin. It won't be Led Zeppelin.
It ain't winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually liked I thought what they did with the playfield for the game wasn't a bad idea, but most people aren't going to be into it.
Led Zeppelin.
I wouldn't vote for it. It's just I thought it was different. You might as well look like you're on acid because there's nothing else to look at in the game.
Yeah. I mean, so my defense of Led Zeppelin, yes, the art doesn't draw you in, but man, there's something about that game. The code is actually really good, and it's really fun to just rock out to it. But it's the Expression Light Kit is a must on that game. It really, really, really adds to the overall experience when you're playing that game.
See, for me, if we're getting down to the only way I can enjoy the game is to buy this Expression add-on, I'm like, okay, well, sorry, I don't buy games for light shows.
True, but I think too many Icarus. I think though, what's his name? Nick from Buffalo Pinball. I don't know if either of you guys listened to the Buffalo Pinball, the Brody Even Talk Pinball podcast, but they both played a pro at a pizza joint, and both were like, Led Zeppelin is garbage. And then I think everybody wrote in. There was a bunch of people that wrote in. And they're like, dude, you're missing it. You've missed the code. And now they had a chance to play a premium. And now Nick Lane actually says he actually thinks Led Zeppelin premium, and he's very quick to always say it's got to be the premium, maybe his favorite Stern, which is kind of crazy.
That reminds me of what people did with Star Wars too. Another Richie game where the Pro was garbage, but you have to have the Hyperloop.
Yeah, I remember listening to the podcast when they were bashing it, and I was like, dude, Nick, like these rules are exactly what you would be into, and you're totally missing it. And
well,
then, yeah,
in his defense, I've only played the Pro, but it has not impressed me.
I get it. If you had the light kit, you'd be a little more impressed. That's a big
probably
call
true.
from Buffalo, because usually they bag any Stern. True, Mr. Hopwood, they are definitely, they lean more towards JJP
Well,
games,
they're
but
sponsored by JJP.
I mean, they've got a good thing figured out with JJP, doing their reveal streams, and I mean, yeah, for Kevin to get a Guns N' Roses shipped to his house days before, you know, any. But I gotta give him props when you have the game that early and he can control the entire environment because it's his house. Like that stream of Guns N' Roses, the initial one, was really good. I don't know. But does sponsorship affect public opinion or coverage, Dennis? Too soon. Wow.
You know, it's possible to maintain neutrality, in my opinion, when receiving sponsorship. But I don't listen to Bro anymore. But back when I did, I remember when Pirates came out, and it was like best art, best code, best layout, best topper, best sheet of glass, best flipper button, best leg leveler, and I'm like, oh, come on. Best leg leveler, really?
Yeah. They love Pirates, and they are very quick to point that out when, you know, the fact that the value of Pirates is so high. They're like, we told you.
I couldn't help but feel the sponsorship influenced some of that at that point. It was a little over the top, like giving it every single, like it was the effing perfect game. And I was just like, and I played it, and I was like, it's fun, but it ain't perfect.
Jeez.
Best art, Johnny
but I'm a
Depp's
dealer.
face. Give me a break.
And automatically I'm a shill. Come on. Well, yeah, because yeah. Yeah, Zach, you're gonna say every game's good, right? Because you sell every game. But now you're in a position where like everybody assumed you were shilling Stranger Things because everybody thought you had like a warehouse full of them that you just can't get rid of, and now obviously you don't have a warehouse full of any game, but yet you're still talking how good Stranger Things is.
You'd love
Stranger
a warehouse
Things
of Stranger
really
Things.
good.
You could probably sell them all.
But I mean, I don't.
I
on
enjoyed
Buffalo,
Stranger
I don't know the details of their of what exactly the sponsorship arrangement with. They list them as a sponsor, as they should, and so you get to know and you get to make that decision. And that's the important thing. And not just me. That's the important thing that the U.S. government thinks you should know too.
I usually agree with Zach, except for when it comes to Dwight Sullivan games. Seraph, elaborate on that. I know Zach. Is Zach? I think Zach has said it before, but is Dwight like? I think Dwight is Zach's favorite coder. Is that?
And I'm assuming that's what he's disagreeing with. He and I know actually a lot of people, especially a lot of competitive people. Like if you were to pick, Dwight would probably be on the lower end of their list.
Yeah.
Maybe Lonnie the lowest, because Lonnie always does the same code over and over. But the thing is, if I were to distill it, my take is Dwight's reputation for creating these elaborate kind of almost RPG style gameplay approaches result in imbalanced strategies. So competitive people in particular tend to be turned off by it.
100%. I mean, I know a few of the competitive people I talk to. That is absolutely the biggest struggle with Mando. Is there's definitely ways to exploit it, and it just seems like competitive players don't want games that only have, you know, one go-to situation. They want the Avengers. They want the ones with, give me 18 different ways that I could beat you in this game.
Well, that's the big change up now from the old, like playing the old games from the 90s and before, or even the 2010s and earlier. And what people are looking for now when you come from a competitive perspective, it's like, I'm paying this much more. These games are going up well above the price of inflation. I shouldn't only have one right way to exploit it. That's the big problem with all the 90s games. You get excited about Attack from Mars because it actually gave you like two choices on how to play it. Whoa, amazing.
Good point. I just looked at my stream and I realized, so my daughter's 3, and this Smoking Pig is a barbecue joint down in South Carolina, and she's like, "Is that pig on fire?" This is my 3-year-old daughter. I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, why? I'm thinking like, crap, how do I explain to my daughter how we cook and eat animals? I'm like, cause he's cooking. She's like, well, is he hurt? I was like, she's like, well, he needs to be saved. And she brought it up multiple times, so it's like, crap, I can't wear this shirt around anymore. Dwight usually have one strategy path to get the most points. Yeah, people complain about that with turtles. There's kind of one way to really blow it up. They're complaining about that with Mando. I don't know. I don't know enough about like Star Wars. If Star Wars has a one-way strat.
It did. I mean, there was a time where it was like there was the R2D2 strat, and then there was the Leia strat.
What about like Guardians of the Galaxy? I feel like that's gotten more respect from a lot of tournament players for multiple ways to attack it.
Well, it does vary by game because Dwight does change up what he does. So, but I mean, when Guardians first came out, it was Groot all day, then it was Orb all day, and then we got rid of it because it wasn't making any money. So I don't know. I never got to play it on good code.
Oh, I meant Game of Thrones, not Guardians. I'm sorry.
Oh, Game of Thrones. Yeah, originally it was when he did his latest update. I think you got it so you could do a couple houses.
He's balanced,
there was
yeah.
one right house. Well, it depended. I mean, competitively there was one right house, and then if you wanted to blow the game up for high score for the GC, it was like Greyjoy. But otherwise, there was one right way to play it.
Game of Thrones was one strat, then Lyman fixed it, and now there are 2 or 3 strats. Nice.
Well, that Lyman's fixing Rothrail's games. He
Is
won't be
that-
saving you anymore.
Do we know where he is yet?
I don't know for sure, but I've decided that Josh Sharp poached him for Rothrails because they've been wanting to get into the home market with all those giant ass like Star Wars pods and stuff. And how do you convince someone to buy like the Alien shooter game when the stuff all pops out in the same position every single time, and normally you just go and you dump $20 into it at Dave and Buster's and win it and be done.
I used to be more in arcade games, and I owned one arcade cabinet, like a shooter arcade cabinet, and I owned it for a few months, and that I realized like it got played every single time friends or family came over. It was always played, but I never touched it because once you learn it, you learn it. 737, that's a tough balance to make a game about scoring points and also have a sense of journey or adventure under the glass. Yeah, to find a game that has really good moments and really good scoring is truly hard to do. I don't know.
That's
I
why
don't know.
people like Owen
Yeah.
games, because he's good at bringing all those elements in, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, like Avengers is really good, but the best moment I think in Avengers is the Soul Gem. Like that is just a really unique experience, but there is no moment early on in the game for newbies to experience. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who has the best balance there. I don't know who does that best. That's why Keith is the new king. Gomez does a good job, I think, but I don't know.
No,
I mean, I think Keith is only getting better, and I think the fact that this skyscraper in Godzilla is dead center means novice people will be able to experience that. And if busting down that or locking balls is just hitting it consistently, I think if that's a goal that you could tell a novice, like just keep hitting that and you're going to see it's going to drop, and then keep hitting it and it's going to drop, and keep hitting it and then it's going to load balls, and then you're going to get a multi-ball. Like if you can have something, or with the breaking bridge, yeah, that would be pretty sick. Gomez is awesome, but pretty sure he said Keith had some influence on Deadpool. He did. In your interview, you're right. Yeah, Keith did. The drop-down orbit ramp was Keith's idea. Yeah. There is no doubt, and Dennis, you and Zach obviously mentioned it, but I don't think it's a question. I think he is probably the best pinball designer currently. I don't. If this game is good, which I would guess it is, but if he goes 4 for 4, I mean, the guy's arguably the best pinball player of all time. The guy knows when a game shoots good. So I like either or still.
I don't. It's not. I don't really think it's seriously debated. Obviously, not everyone's going to agree, but so I mean, it's not. One's not really going out on a limb. Now, to be fair, he does have advantages that no one else has. I mean, poor Eric Minier is stuck at a company that is so slow at producing games that we're, Keith, you can see something from him every year. So,
every year. Yeah. He's turning out games. I don't know.
But
every year.
a lot of the competitive players who I play with in the Kansas City area, like broadly speaking, they think the Stern team as a whole is really solid.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Keith is their favorite, but if it was all Keith all the time, you'd probably get sick of it. Kind of like how some people are getting a little tired of the samey zombie Yeti art.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to be fair too, like, and Eric was talking about this on when they had him on. I think it was Super Awesome. Yeah, I think he was on there. But they essentially opened up a brand new factory with pretty much all new workers. So Eric's down on the friggin' line trying to make these games with them. You know, so the last year he's down on the line instead of like, you know, spending all his time designing new games
It's
and
a good
whatever.
Point. And while it's cool from like a whoa, look at how hands-on Eric is, it's also when I hear stuff like that, it actually concerns me because your designer shouldn't have to be out there spot welding your Habitrails.
Like, guys, the wiring goes over here, not there. You know, like, holy shit.
And one of the things that I can't remember if we covered it or not, so perhaps behind the scenes quasi nugget, if not, but Zach had mentioned in the explanations on the pricing challenges regarding Stern and their new increases on the Godzilla pin were they're having labor shortages. Well, surely that's impacting JJP as well. They're in the same location.
You would think, yeah. Wind Raider, you said, I don't think they're designing in a vacuum. I mean, when I interviewed George Gomez, yes, he made it seem like absolutely when he was designing the game, he was calling people in. Tim, shoot this. Raymond, shoot this. Keith, shoot this. But they're all working from home right now, right, with COVID. So I'm curious if we've gotten to that point where they are kind of designing somewhat in a bubble, or it's way harder to get somebody to like Raymond Davidson said when Mando was released, that was the first time he had flipped that game. He had never touched it. So I don't know.
Interesting.
I think they used to be able to do that a lot more. I think most impressive how Keith's rule set feel totally unique and different from each other. I will give you that. Iron Maiden and Jurassic Park and Avengers are very, very different. Yeah. The fact he can do playfield and rule in a year, it is impressive. I mean, obviously they're designers that take 15 months to design a game, and they're not thinking about the code at all. And the fact that Keith is basically laying out all the rules is... Now, he doesn't do all the rules. Like, I know Raymond, when I was talking to him about Avengers, there were sections of that game where Keith was like, okay, go ahead and just, like, design that mode, you know, or design that multi-ball, so. Any hint of being a temp price increase like American? I don't think, everything I've read doesn't seem like it's a temporary thing.
Yeah, I'm skeptical. I mean,
there's no going back.
I mean, in the distributor meeting, apparently they did declare that the reason for most of the price increase was purportedly because of these supply issues and transportation challenges and labor shortages. So, but you know, normally that information doesn't really get widely disseminated publicly. Now, granted, Zach having a podcast and then saying that they were informed, it means that there is broad I mean, not saying we're the most popular show, but we are highly listened. So, you know, people are aware. I think actually more so than that, though, is with American Pinball announcing the surcharge and making theirs really clear, there could be pressure. I think ultimately my nutshell summary would be I don't expect by default Stern to ever go back down on pricing. However, if some other company post shortages and we're all caught up and people aren't waiting months for games, is putting out games that are getting attention, that are selling for under Stern Pros, Stern would feel pressure to get Pro back to being the cheapest option out there. I think that gives them I mean, they have a market share anyway just because of the production capabilities, but I mean, what commercial pin has ever been under a Stern Pro? I think Thunderbirds might have been by $200, and that game was crap.
Well, do you think American Pinball might look at this and be like, hey, maybe we need to sell our next game at somewhat less profit to then be the cheapest pinball machine on the market and potentially...
I'm not sure they'll have to cut their prices more if they can just not raise them as well. I mean, they're all, you know, it's a question of how much more of the gap. But But I think they're already were going kind of that route, thinking that, what's the biggest weakness of all these new startups? It's like all been the collector market. No one's priced anything to orient it towards operators. And that's what Hot Wheels was gonna be. But then they launched it at a no
Terrible
attendance
time.
show, and
Yeah.
then COVID hit.
Yeah.
So they kind of, their experiment I think was a good idea, and just circumstance totally
Bad timing.
screwed them.
Yeah, horrible
Yeah,
timing.
it was
Uh,
unfortunate.
Cirone 1. Dennis is greater than Zach. That's all they wrote.
I don't need to be told obvious things like that, but thank you.
I'm curious to see what JJP does since they were trying to price like a pro for a bit there. Well, I mean, JJP has already made their lower tier model have mechs that aren't in the other ones. So unless they
To
have,
Jack's sheer frustration.
yeah. But if they did that, if they said, all right, the lowest model, the standard edition, is really going to be much more stripped down.
But I don't, I just don't. But look at Guns N' Roses. Look how quickly, if you remember back, how quickly they dropped the standards from production. I mean,
Yeah.
they just
It was
freaking
shockingly
threw
fast.
that. They threw it. Yeah, it's like they sold one batch and then they threw it on the bonfire. And it's like, no.
I mean, all I can think of is they're looking at it and they're like, we have this amount of this to build, and we have this
Yeah.
huge amount of other ones that we have to build.
All these-
we make
all these
way
expensive
more
games.
profit in the other ones.
Yeah,
What are we doing? Like, get out
yeah.
of here.
And of course, it's a standard that we have on location. So that's the one I played.
Yeah.
And playing it, I'm like, I'm not surprised it went on the bonfire. But
In my opinion, the biggest issue I
It's
had
the
with
LE.
was between the Guns N' Roses standard and LE was the fact that the hot rails were only white. If those would have been color changing, I think there would have been a lot more people that would have considered the standard over the LE.
speaking of the hot rails, I wanted to ask you this, Joel. I don't know if you're familiar with DuckTales, but every time I hear hot rails, I want to go, ooh.
I am absolutely familiar with that, and yes, yeah, I totally get it.
Every rail should be a hot rail. Ooh.
Yep. Now,
Copyright Disney, don't sue me.
Cover DuckTales sight unseen. I know. Yes. Now that I've heard that, now that I've heard you specifically sing it,
I've
Now-
discussed DuckTales with someone because I think I said I wanted the match sequence to be Scrooge McDuck jumping into the pool of coins, but if it's a non-match, he breaks his neck and dies.
yeah, that'll definitely get passed by the licensor for sure. Ditto on DuckTales. Yep, there are people all in on DuckTales. Ooh. There we go. Get that skill shot. This game. This game is a good time, but I know Becca and Jordan with Fliptronic, boy, do they love this game. And
Do
my
they
biggest-
still own it?
They don't.
No, they love it so much they sold it.
Oh, okay, huh. Wow.
Didn't
Yeah,
make
I
it-
remember hearing about all these parents that love their kids and just sell them off too. Oh wait, no, that doesn't happen.
My favorite cartoon of all time? Really? DuckTales? All right.
Now, in fairness, they thought, I think their logic was, they thought of all their games that they either had coming or owned, that this would be the easiest one to find again.
Hot Wheels, yeah.
Okay, in fairness, actually I agree. That does make sense.
And Hot Wheels, I mean, I think if you were dying, if you're like, I live in the middle of whatever, Montana, there's nobody around me, I can't buy any used games, I want to buy a brand new game, Stern is back, whatever, a gazillion games. This one's available. I think they could buy an American Pinball game pretty quickly.
I would have loved to have seen Montana. It's a Red October reference, which would have been a great pinball machine.
Red October?
Now there you can use the red
I
lights
want a
on that
mode
thing.
where you have to get Vasily to give you a ping. One ping only.
Jeez, I am flubbing up every bit of this. This is a good game except for the Johnny Mnemonic feed from the Pops. Wait, I love every game I sell. Zach. This game shoots. I actually like the way it shoots. My only struggle is my lack of focus. My lack of focus with I don't
That's
have a
your
good
struggle
game
in
plan.
general, Joel.
Huh?
That's your struggle in general.
I like
yeah.
I like Zach's comment there about the giving that minute, tiny criticism of the game. It's kind of like how on the latest episode when if you're not through it enough yet, where it goes and at the end it's like, well, what model should we get? And he goes,
Yeah.
well, I think you should get the premium. Yeah, because the LEs are sold out and the premium's the most expensive one. So that's
Chill. Yeah. No.
Exactly.
I mean, I actually do though believe Zach likes the premium over the LE. I actually genuinely think he probably does.
He's just because he's mad about that silver powder coat.
But I think you and I both know that when he said that he's debating whether or not he's actually going to get the LE, that's a lie.
That he's still going to get the LE.
We've learned that that is a lie. He will 100% get the LE initially because
it won't match his lineup otherwise.
It's gotta fit in the lineup.
Gotta have it match.
He'll get the LE. The issue here is he can powder coat a premium, but that back glass is not going to be mirrored.
That's right.
That back glass is not. Zach, you said you have a premium Jurassic Park that you've like pimped out. What about the back glass? What does the back glass look like?
You can put as much Windex as you want on it and run a mirror back. You ain't gonna see yourself in that.
I am mad about the silver powder coat. I've already sifted through Prismatic's catalog.
Who is responsible?
Zach, this right here is Prismatic. These are all powder coat samples. Because if I get the Deadpool premium, I'm gonna powder coat the rails. So,
Don't worry, Sheriff. We're here to help.
I am Zach Mini Joel. Still say the back glass on the Pro is the best one. I mean, I agree. Don't get me wrong, Zach. When I've seen your lineup and I've seen the LEs, the mirrored back glasses are really cool. They are very, very cool. But I'm just curious. I know you're very particular about your lineup being uniform, and I'm surprised you can overlook.
It's hard to imagine him slumming. I don't care how much powder coat he puts on it.
Slumming. Yeah, I'm surprised you can overlook the fact that those are not mirrored. I mean, good on you though. Come take a look at my Jurassic Park back glass, Joel. Not my Translite. Oh, okay. All right, so maybe you had a custom one mirrored. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's great.
Did you just order? Oh, I guess they wouldn't sell you just the mirrored back glass.
No. Apparently, the mirrored back glass, you can order a mirrored back glass, like if yours broke, but you have to send in the broken pieces.
Got it.
and they just glue them. It's kind of like BG. It's kind of like a really, really low-grade BG resto.
That's what it is. Yeah. Apparently, you have to like prove that it's broken.
Yeah.
And my Star Wars comic back glass, I tell people these things are more rare. Okay, so the two premiums that you own that you've pimped out, you found a way to get a mirrored back glass. That's what I'm hearing.
Man, he's
Well
got all the
done.
Secrets. Yeah, but it's third party. It's not going to add any value.
True.
You might as well stick a laserific topper on it while you're at it.
Oh man.
I think it would have been funny if the Godzilla LE hadn't been that Mandalorian powder coat, but instead had been the good old WWE gold. I'm sure they still got some. They didn't use it all up on Guardians.
Well, what will the custom rails look like? You take that back, Dennis. Nice. Did they announce exactly, Joe? Did they announce the armor kit for Godzilla? And is that also gray like the LE? So Zach, on all your LEs, have you ever replaced any of the armor with one of the custom kits? I'm assuming no, because like the Mando has like the blaster still etched out of it, right? Yes. Okay, he has. Never mind. I don't know, guys. I feel like we're flexing hard tonight. Zach is flexing here on his custom games. But you know what? Hey, if it's your game, make it your own. Jeez, okay. Every outline. Awesome. You can get the Avengers armor powder coated to make it better. Oh, the Avengers armor is pretty good with the A. No flex, making my own. Yeah, exactly. The Avengers armor I do like. I don't really love the Turtles armor. I wish the turtle's armor was more like that, where it's something cut out of it, not just a sticker. Which armor do you have, Zach? Zach, I'm assuming on your Stranger Things you just have the original LE armor, right? All right. Yes.
Yeah,
All
the LE's great. That was a great powder coat they put on that.
When I had my
Purple fleck.
when I had my Stranger Things Pro, I had someone strip off the UV art and put on infrared art instead.
I was gonna say, first off, I was like, you never had a
was like, what
Stranger
did you
Things Pro. And then we got to the joke, yeah.
So now it reacts really cool when you point a TV remote at it.
When you point at TV remote. Oh boy. But don't infrared, don't you see those sensors and stuff if you use a camera? So I bet streaming it would just be
Well,
impossible.
obviously I did this before the QR codes. And streaming is too hard for me, so I don't do that.
Does Punny Factory come with a mirrored back glass? It would if Zach made it.
Have they made any?
Don't
punny
like
factories?
printed armor typically,
No.
especially for Mando. And you're totally right,
Yeah,
Zach.
Craig, what's the scoop on the punny factories? Because you're like right next
I
door
don't
to these
know.
guys.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were actually so close. Wander down and see if anyone's working.
Check the parking lot. We need a parking lot report.
Parking lot was
You don't have to just be the Stern correspondent. You could be
Yeah,
the
the
Pinball
Pinball
Adventure
Factory.
correspondent.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to
Craig-
know when Canada A is coming out. I want to call it Canada Dry, but I know that's copyright.
Joel his joke works best if you don't question it. Wow. Yes, and Joel, yes. Okay, got it. Yeah. The yes and improv. Who was I? I have had that issue with Tom, with Tom Graft in the podcast, because I'll like be going to riff and Tom just cuts it off. Just yeah. Travis will go with it. The whole yes and situation. Yeah. Tom's just like, no, this is it. Done. I'm still waiting on the Flippin' Out versus Punny Factory Pinball Design face-off. Yeah, I think the whole world's waiting on that. Alright, I'm trying to get into a battle.
Why?
Because they're fun. It's a fun little mode.
Is it good points?
I don't care about points.
No, okay.
That's my issue. That's one of my issues with this game. This game actually does very well tournament-wise because there are a bunch of different strategies for points. And Becca and Jordan went into those a bunch, but Tom pulled the Tom, yeah. But like
That's
keeping the RPM meter going is very important because it's a multiplier, and I just don't have the attention span to just do that. I don't know.
It's not all that popular amongst our competitive players, so that's interesting.
Tommy, who does what does he do? This Flippin' podcast? Is that it?
Is that still going? I thought
Is it this
Taylor
Flippin'
quit, and maybe
not-
look.
not this-
If anyone if they say they're quitting, I turn them off and I don't ever go back.
Oh,
So
yeah, no, he routes.
That's why I've
games in
never said I'm
Lafayette
quitting.
in Indiana. And he
you're wise, Craig. I would unsubscribe from TPN.
the whole network because of you,
Yeah.
Craig. Yeah, I'll be
It's
so
it's
good.
too hard.
even
It's all
Dennis
in one
will lie.
RSS.
He said like in Lafayette, apparently all their tournament players freaking love this game. So
Well, I've only heard a few directly opine it, but I mean, it's not like the most disliked of the lineup. Yeah. And some of them are fairly judgmental, so. They might have just said that because it was my first time playing. First time playing was actually in competition, and I spent 10 minutes on it and won. But I shot the flashy shots because there were these 3 lights, and that they helped me.
strobing, yeah, you knew.
Yes, the strobe.
So like the tachometer, every time you complete RPM or every time you're hitting RPM here in the middle, it's going up and up and up. But if you ignore it, it starts going down. And the moment you get to 10, if you get to 10, you hit it again, it kills your flippers. You do red line mania, and now you're in second gear. So now all of your shots, if you look on the screen in the upper right corner, you can see on my gauge it says 100K. So all my shots are worth 100K. Well, as my tachometer goes up, that value is going to go up. Well, as soon as you get through it once, now all of a sudden you're in second gear, everything's now worth 2 times what it was in for 1 time. So if you really focus on that, you can get your multiplier crazy high. But obviously the RPM target, I mean, they're right in the middle. It's super dangerous. So I don't... This has been my favorite stream of the month. Lacey Dunjoel, Shake and Bake, and Norman. I'm going to watch the last season of the show. Y'all are always going to go watch Walking Dead. Zach, appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your content.
He's
Thank
already
you for,
gone. He's not hearing you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for letting me borrow this game. Yeah. If you guys don't know, this game, yes, Flipping Out, Zach and Nicole are letting me borrow this to stream. So
That's really nice of them. You know, he won't even sell me the first pro off the line.
I'm still here. Yeah, Zach, go eat your cereal and Pepsi, right? Hey, what cereal did you have, Craig? You guys
Well,
are...
I'm going to tell you what I
What?
had.
I'm ready.
You might have seen it on Discord. Today, I tried something different. And I'll tell you what. I put Fruit Loops, and then I put real fruit in it. So I cut up some nectarines. Believe it or not, I cut up a nectarine because it's peach season. So I cut up nectarine and then put banana on top of that.
So this
Holy
is...
shit, it was good.
So what proportional... How much fruit to Fruit Loops are we talking here? I mean, was this like a bowl of fruit with some Fruit Loops sprinkled on, or definitely the other way around?
No, it was 3/4 Fruit Loops, I'd say, and 1/4 real fruit.
Hey, I'm happy for you, though. I know.
Yeah, I did something a little similar. I had Frosted Flakes, though, and I cut up an apple because it's banana season and put that in. And then I also added grapes.
Ooh.
There you go.
Sacrilege! You don't actually
You don't feel nearly as guilty doing that.
No, I was like, yeah, this has no sugar in it.
Craig, did you hear that? Yeah.
Could this actually be?
You don't actually fruit those loops, man. That's what Joe said. Yeah. So I gotta ask, Dennis. You said on the podcast that you had a taco salad waiting for you, and he asked beef, and you said no. I had that for lunch. I have chicken for dinner. What does that mean? So you like prepared the meat separate, and I don't understand how you had it twice in one day.
Yeah, what the hell? I bought it.
But did you buy 2 separate taco salads, or it's like one?
That's
big...
correct. I did.
Yeah.
I bought a beef one and I bought a chicken one.
Were these like frozen dinners, or where'd you buy these?
No, I ordered them from a Mexican restaurant. I had one for lunch and I put the other in the fridge to have later, so that I had enough cost so the DoorDash would bring it.
There we go. Did you do? Is that pretty typical for you? Like if you do like a burrito, do you go ahead and order a beef and a pork and a chicken all at the same time? And
I don't usually order the same things, but
taco salad's a different.
I'll usually buy more than one meal at a time.
Ah, okay.
Your cost of exactly. Your delivery cost per meal is cut it.
gotta minimize it if I'm ordering instead of doing something else. But
that makes sense.
For whatever reason, I can remember I had a busy day that day, and I was like, I'll just squeeze this in because I couldn't leave. I think I had to wait for a delivery. I think I had a watch coming, so I couldn't leave because I had to sign for it.
Oh, you got a new watch. New watch.
My Zodiac had to be replaced, so the watermelon Zodiac Super Seawolf.
Dennis must be awesome at buffets. Buy two passes for the day. Are you a fan of buffets at all, Dennis? I don't think.
No, they're germ havens.
That's.
I feel that way now. That's for sure.
Whoa!
I used to love the Chinese buffet, but I don't know.
I love Chinese, but I usually just would order that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had some other follows. PSO and AVR. Thank you for the follows, guys. Thank you for the support.
Did you ever get that? Speaking of watches, Dennis, did you ever get that that robot pinball watch?
I did get one of those. Yes.
And how does it look in real life?
It looks
you
like
were
a
showing
robot.
it. Yeah.
He's got a whole video on
I
it.
have a. Well, thank you for setting up the plugs, Craig. I happen to have a review video. I have an unboxing video, and I also have a video with Ryan Clater, the designer of the watch, an interview.
Nice.
Have you
I
put
very rarely subject myself to doing interviews, but I will on occasion.
Did you do you have them all put together nice and neat in a YouTube playlist?
I do not have the Ricochet playlist because I thought I don't know if 3 videos warrants a playlist.
You know, if it was 2 videos,
You've got way more
if it was
than
2
3.
videos, I'd give you a hard time for making
three
a
of just
playlist.
that one watch.
3
Right.
though, you could probably do 3 videos
The review video is in my playlist of review videos. But anyway, I'll do the Zodiac next. But yeah, I tried to regulate the watch was way too fast, and so I tried to regulate it myself, and the regulator stud broke. So I sent it back, and I said, hey, look, I mean, that probably voided the warranty, but I ain't no wimp that doesn't work on their watches. So I'm like, you need to bill me for the part, okay? But by the way, it broke, and it's got dirt and stuff under the crystal. So they apologized and said they followed up, and they were like, rather than fix this, can we just send you a new watch?
Nice.
So when you say a watch is running way too fast, what are we talking? Like the end of the day, it's a minute faster than it should be?
I mean, yeah, that would be way too fast. Yes, this was over 10 seconds though.
10 seconds within a day.
Well, for a watch that's over $1,000, I expect it to be under 10 seconds.
Oh wow, okay. So well, maybe that's a question. Like, what's a realistic? How often on your watches are you resetting the time?
I expect on a mechanical watch that I shouldn't have to reset the time if I wear it for a week. I don't want it to gain or lose a minute within a week.
So, but that's the acceptable amount.
That's my acceptable amount.
Okay.
For a watch that's, let's just say anything over $100.
Gotcha. A week. You got to be able to go. I'll tell you right now, Dennis.
Yeah,
I've never reset my watch. Now here I'm giving you a hard time, and I'm getting a warning that I'm 10% battery life. So this isn't. I can't really brag about my Apple Watch right now, can I?
Hey Dennis, did you ever see that Facebook video? I almost sent it to you, and then I lost it. But it was because I know you were starting to get to dabble a little bit into rebuilding them a little bit, right? And
yeah, I've been working on. So I got one that I got back together at one point. Then I lost the second hand trying to do something else to it. So, and I've got another one that I've been reassembling over the last few weeks. It's just.
There was a great video out of like a guy who had. You probably seen it because it had a few million views on it, but it was like a Longinus watch, I think, that was crushed. And the guy basically took it and rebuilt the whole thing from scratch. He took it all apart, so it looked like garbage. And then so he took it all apart and like redid all the put it all back together, cleaned it all up, put a new watch face on it.
I think I've seen that guy, but I've not seen that video. And that company is Longines.
Longines, sorry.
But don't have to be sorry. They're all weird foreign pronounced words that no one knows how to say. Yeah, it's a Swiss
like
brand.
Rolex.
But it was the sound effects of it too that I really liked. 'Cause every time you put like a screw or a thing, it was like it was very sort of satisfying.
Yeah, I've seen some of his others. He see some of those guys will kind of rebuild or stuff, and there are others that are just doing more servicing or cleanup and. Yeah, I mean the hard part. It's easy to take them apart, getting them back together.
Yeah,
I'm working on another women's watch right now, and it's just like on the weekend I took about an hour or 90 minutes, and I was just trying to get the gear train back together. And every time I have the second wheel would knock the third wheel out or whatever. It's just I finally was like, okay, I gotta stop. I'm working on the size of it. The whole movement's the size of a dime, and I'm getting frustrated because my eye starts to hurt with the loop, and it's like I can switch to the other eyeball for a while, and then
you need one of
your hands are shaking from gripping the screwdrivers.
You need to get one of the microscopes with the screens, like the TV screens, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
But anyway, I'll either get it together eventually, or I'll bust apart on it and get mad, throw it in a baggie, and move on to another. I got more, and I got a pile of vintage watches to work on.
It's like an adult Lego, but you're only taking it apart, is what it sounds like.
That's what it feels like sometimes. So I was real pleased with myself when I got that one back together.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Oh boy. What else we got? Hey, you got it back together and it's working. That's
It was.
It's kind of like a 3D puzzle, right? Because there's like layers of these gears, and it's like, where do you put it? Where, what layer is it on?
Yeah, the movement wouldn't stay running, and I don't know if it's a bad mainspring or because all the parts are spinning properly. And it was magnetized at one point, so I had to demagnetize it.
I'm going to go flip my Medieval Madness a couple times before it gets too late to make noise. Fun stream, guys. Oh, appreciate you. Thanks for being here. Have a great night. I'm assuming it's Medieval Madness, or is it Multimorphic? I'm assuming Medieval Madness.
No one owns that.
The P3.
Joel.
There are people that own the P3, Dennis. Yeah.
Jordan just bought one.
I know. He hasn't got it yet, but soon. We'll be seeing a lot more.
They haven't raised their prices in the pandemic.
No,
They haven't, which think about graphic cards. Because I'm assuming the PCs in that game are... there's got to be a decent graphic
Aren't
card.
they from like 2014 though?
I don't know.
I don't think they've upgraded ever since they launched. And
They
most
haven't
tech's
sold their
gone,
original batch.
and I'm
that
just
they
saying,
bought.
most tech's gone down in price. So, and that, I mean, the thing is mostly computer, so, or TV or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Cars.
That new track is looking good.
Come on.
It'll be neat when you stream Barnyard. I'm looking forward to it.
I don't... I am just... I'm telling you, I'm very curious to play it at Expo. But I don't... Being that Zach obviously doesn't sell them, I don't think there's going to be a chance for me to have one without just committing. And boy,
Like Jordan committed.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jordan buys...
Why are you afraid of commitment?
Jordan's making deals, you know? Joel, check your messages next fall style. Okay. Zach's still here, guys. Apparently he hasn't started his show yet.
Yeah, he's full of lies and deceit.
What are we... Okay, I'm checking my
He
messages.
tells us he's leaving just to make
So
sure.
we'll talk the truth. He's trying to, and he's sitting there. He's like,
Whoa,
It's like they're gonna say
Warlock, we
stuff
got a
about me.
raid. Appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for the raid. What did he say?
"Hey, Warlock, that's a fun movie. That would be a really good pinball.
Don't...
Hammer the nail into the footprint of the non-shoe wearing Warlock multi-ball."
Oh, wow. I'm actually looking... Zach sent me a picture of his back glass. His back glass is mirrored. The Star Wars one. That's actually pretty sick. But at least tell... He said, don't share with anyone, but at least tell Dennis and Craig in chat that you've seen something cool about my back glasses. He's not... He's walking the walk, guys.
Wow, he sensitive. Yeah, well, you know, don't show it to anyone. And here, Photoshop. Wow.
Oh,
What skill?
Nicole, hold this aluminum foil just for a second.
Hey, you know what? There's a lens flare effect in Photoshop too. It can make it look like J.J. Abrams did your design.
A tiny way, but there's quality. Yeah, just talked to Zach, and I'm basically on a pro for Rush. Awesome.
Nice.
For Rush, so he's saying you're already locked in for.
Getty and Alex, thank you.
You know, it must be terrible for those distributors to have those lists for all these game themes. I just imagine that they're all opening them up in Notepad and just like having these text files, and they're all over the place, like Golden Girls, Laundry Day, Rush,
Zach.
Back to the Future 2.0, High Speed 3, Low Speed 1.
I'm getting good at Illustrator though. You are. I know your Nordman's legit. Zach, be honest here.
That Norman
What-
is very
What
very legit.
application do you have your lists saved in? What application do you have your list saved in? Question, is it Notepad? Is it Word? Is it Excel?
He's a Mac guy.
You're not wrong, Dennis. It's got to be Notepad.
No, it's Notepad.
Does he just straight up have it in notes? You're not wrong, Dennis. It's Paint. He has it in Microsoft. Shut up, Joel. It's Notepad. I mean, it works. You just can't like index it very well.
Yeah, it works. Other than you can't index, you can't sort. There's no easy way to make edits. I mean, you could make the changes, but you have to do like a find replace to find the person's name. If, hey, move me off of the list for James Bond. I want to be in on Goonies.
Yeah. All right, everyone. It's after midnight, so this right here, this is last game. I have no promises. This could last
Here we
about 2
go.
minutes,
Drum
so this
roll.
could be a lot. But I'm giving my heads up. Everybody
Get those
already be
RPMs
thinking
up.
about.
Get them up. Get them up.
Here's
already
what
be
I
thinking
wanna
about
know.
who we're raiding next. But-
I want to know if on these distributor lists, are there separate lists for the separate manufacturers? Like if someone's like, I'm in for Harry Potter JJP, and there's another list for Harry Potter Stern.
Why? Because I'm evil.
It's Word. It's Word. The same way I Photoshop pictures years 1 through 3 of Word. Word is where he keeps it. Word is better than Notepad, but I do feel like you might want to go towards Excel. I see what you're saying though. Does he have a list that the list is put me on the next Stern LE? Or do you have to be specific? Like, if it's Rush, put me on that list, or can you just get on a generic, put me on a Stern LE list?
Right, and then if you're right, Joel, think of the rabbit hole. Because how do you separate? Like, if you're on, let's say the next game's Rush,
Yeah.
and you had people that were put me on the next LE, and then put me on the LE for Rush. Like, is he putting date stamps in next to the names on words so he knows which one came in when?
I think he starts flipping coins or playing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, Zach. I'm assuming you have an LE allotment, but there's 250 more LEs. So, do you already know your LE allotment? Do you know if you got more? Because if Zach has X number of LEs and he has those people, like I give my Tom Graff, my buddy, a hard time because he's buying like every LE. If you have those people that buy every single LE, then your list is kind of done. It doesn't matter, right? To make anything. Dennis, don't question the process. Needn't. That's not a word. Is that a word? Needn't?
Yeah.
I think the word you're looking for is
it's an
didn't.
older one, but it checks out.
We needn't?
It's short for
Needn't?
need not.
I know,
Yeah.
but no way. We need not find holes. I have enough stress. Okay. Bob,
Yeah,
in all
Zach-
fairness, I have gotten invoices. Nicole is good. Nicole is good at what she does. So good job.
Zach, I'm willing to I'm willing to work on and give you a system that's a lot easier and a lot less stressful. And by give you, I mean 25%.
Yes, it's a word. I use word autocorrect. Okay. Needn't. I don't think I've ever I'm struggling to say it. I mean, the real question is what does CoinTaker use, right? You know? Or like, because I bet their system is CoinGiver. My bad.
I was just gonna say whatever system cancels their tailgate.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Well, they were charging for tickets. I hope they can reschedule because that's gonna be a nightmare otherwise.
I didn't know they were charging for tickets.
Yeah, it was $10.
Oh, I didn't know.
Zach, when's the flipping out pool party? You know that you were gonna have and invite everybody over. Okay, I'm out. I can't follow that. No,
Okay, I'm out. I can follow that.
he's
It
not.
would be fun.
I can't
If
follow
we
that.
were all in Indiana, we would need a TPN group photo in front of that pool.
In front of the
Yeah.
pool, and then we all get
That
in
would
his
be
hot
good.
tub, and then there's a picture of him draining his hot tub because we all got in it. I'm down, man. The TPM pool party, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, TPM pool party. Oh boy. No, we need a
We
hot.
could all wear all wear identical swimsuits just like his family.
We. If he's actually left by now, this is almost not even fair, but we could actually do a hot
Life's
tub
not
stream.
fair.
We could do a hot tub pinball stream from Zach's hot tub. Could you? I mean,
You know, you'd set record views because that hot tub meta is still kind of a thing.
it's there.
Yeah.
A hot tub pinball stream, and you have. We could get Jeff Teolis to do some ASMR mic stuff. You know.
Yeah,
during-
he
from
could
Canada.
commentate. What's a pinball game that features a hot tub, either in the yard or is there any?
Elvira has like little floaty things, right? Like the little inner tubes. That's not a
Well,
hot
so
tub,
is
but it's-
Deadpool, right? Doesn't he have like the little
Oh, he does. Yeah.
inner
Yeah.
tube thing looking thing?
I don't know of a pinball machine that has a hot tub.
I wondered if
feel like
Austin Powers had it conveyed.
Yeah. Oh.
I've never played that.
If you're gonna though stay in that realm of hot tub, and I mean, I feel like Elvira would make Nord man swimsuits for hot tub. Nord knows when it's too hot and when to get out. Nice. That would we may be onto something here, guys. But we just all have to be at Zach's pool. It's got all of us in front of his in-ground pool. We're in the hot tub. Yeah.
Above ground.
Above ground.
Above ground.
Let's stress that.
Yeah, you gotta wait till the $2,000 toppers before the in-ground happens.
Above ground. I mean, maybe this Stern price increase may actually
Yeah.
get Zach to that
Oh,
in-ground pool.
I swear I heard the scream all the way from Indiana when Stern pulled those those streaming capture card things from the market because I think that was the pool right there.
That was it? No.
I think the video capture card was the secret sauce.
God, that could have been me screaming. Those things are so much better. They work so much better than the Chinese knockoffs that I have to use to. I don't know. And I would love to have like 2 or 3 more of those, but they pulled them. Oh crap!
They actually pulled them back. So you had one though, didn't you, Joel?
I have 2. I have 2. I gotta find it.
Yeah, I think Ray Day said they got spooked by the DMCA stuff.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, they're awesome. They work so well, but he gave every TPN streamer one, and then and then Zach, I hope he's not on anymore. When he dropped off one of the games, it was Avengers. He had left it in that because he was obviously capturing stuff for the videos he makes. So I called him up. I was like, "Hey, I just want to let you know you left your capture card in this game." He's like, "Ah, crap! I'll get it from you next time." That was a while ago. That was a while ago. But I'm not here to remind him. So, all right, ball 3. Let's actually get something here. They work really well. It sucks because they actually sold for like $30 or something. I mean,
Wow.
It was awesome. But yeah, I think
So, you want to battle?
they got spooked. All I hope is Stern has like a box of 400 somewhere, and I don't know. They
Well,
slide a few
all that
to
you
the
need is
streamers.
if they're not going to do anything, is for someone to just give the schematics, and someone could arrange to have them produced by a board maker. It's not. I mean,
True.
it did have some surface-mounted parts to it, though, so it's not something that you could just get through whole components and figure it out.
I'm assuming like somebody could take one, ship it somewhere. I'm assuming to China or something like that, and be like, remake this. I don't know. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know. Without the schematic, how easy it would be, because the issue is with like any of the chips and stuff, knowing exactly what they do on it.
Oh. Good point.
Because one might say, I mean, I might have had one, and I might have given mine to an electrical engineer and said, "Can this be reverse engineered?"
And
And the answer was not easily.
not easily. No.
Yeah. But if there was a plan,
May or
one
may
could
not
develop.
have let a local board genius in my area look at it, and he said it would be totally easy to duplicate.
Oh, well, see, I did not go to
Hey,
a board expert.
Get on it,
So,
man. Duplicate away.
Duplicate.
Time for some looping.
Manu,
We
how you
must
doing,
have
buddy?
a pool.
Must have a pool. Yeah, if you duplicate, let Zach know. He'll gladly sell them again.
Yeah.
I mean, it really seems like a very simple.
Well, I know that. I mean, it wasn't like they reinvented the total wheel, because you all have been using, those other options you would buy
Yeah.
from China. So
I mean, yeah, I guarantee the Chinese board, I bet somebody at Stern just looked at that and then made their board from it, so. Alright, this is me actually trying to get my tachometer up because I have a multi-ball. I'm taking the so I'm at 7, I'm at 8,
Is ready. Ooh, that boost is huge.
I'm still at 8. Problem is you can't get into red line while in a multi-ball. I'm at 9.
Nice.
Good, yeah, he makes arcade cabs and stuff. Cool. Chinese board is LVDS to HMI. Yeah, it's super simple. See my tachometer is already back down to 7 though. So tachometer in multi-ball, it's way more shots to build, and it goes down faster. It's like they thought of it, that you can't cheese the system. Why do they use that format of video feed in the first place? I'm assuming the LVDS screens are cheaper.
It's been a while. This is not my area, obviously. I think LVDS can have less interference.
Oh. I hadn't thought about
So
that.
I wondered maybe it had to do with cost, and that was it.
Just
But
like
I
a
had also
Stormboard
wondered
is-
with all the electrical wiring around, if they thought there would be less likelihood of disruption of the quality of the format, because it's a tech that's usually used in really compact electronics.
Yeah, Manu, the board itself is very simple, but you are correct. The Stern one just works. I mean, there's no cables. You just plug it in, plug it out. Boom, done. Fifth
But Stern
place.
could have easily given us HDMI out if they wanted to. They don't want to.
No.
They want to give us a QR reader.
Exxon890. Thank you. Thank you for the follow.
Oh, that was a close one.
Yeah, I know. I have a extra ball. This is good. I'm trying to see if I can complete this race. So third place is this right ramp.
What we can't see on your game is the post at the very bottom there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That occasionally it bounces off of.
Yep. The
We just assume it's
center post.
magic.
Yeah.
My
Oh,
hoops
dude.
has a post down there, and I think by default there's no rubber on the post, but I put one on, and I always forget, and the ball comes back up. I'm like, whoa, and then I don't do anything because I'm too busy looking at it.
Well, that was another thing that Hobbit had the center post. So
Yeah, because that game needed to have a longer play time.
yeah, exactly. I'm using a Chinese board at home. Yeah, so my Turtles has the Chinese board. My Deadpool currently has the Stern board, and yeah.
What does Hot Wheels have?
Hot Wheels is literally just plugged straight in. I mean, it's super easy. Has an HDMI splitter, and it's so easy.
Until you see my next
Wow.
You split the signal, and even grabbing. I have to use a special Stern board to grab the audio from the Stern games. This, I literally just unplugged it from the amp and ran an extension and plugged it in my computer. I mean, it's capturing TNA, piece of cake. Capturing this, piece of cake. Here's Redline multi-ball. Or this is the race. This is because I finished my yeah.
Hey man,
You have the sound turned off on this game, Joel?
I do. So anytime that I do direct audio, I have no sound coming out of this game. So I'm hearing the sound through my headphones. So I hear you guys talking and I hear the game sound through the headphones. That's I've actually really gotten used to playing that way to the point that I actually use headphones now, even when I play by myself, just because I really like hearing the game, like the clarity. JJP, Spooky American, all super easy. Yeah. Yep.
What about home pin?
You know, I don't know. Yeah.
here's another ball.
Probably super.
'Cause I hear the new game's gonna have a DMD and an LCD, but the guy hates LCD.
That was the silliest comment to hear. Yeah, it has both an industry first. We have both a DMD and this, but I am not a fan of the 27-inch. It's like what? Why
And if
would
you like to play ever for points, don't buy my game.
Do not buy it.
That's not what we do. That's
so
not what we
funny.
do here at Home Pin. It's
We
like-
don't make pinball like it used to be,
Yeah.
or like it is now. We make pinball for nobody.
But the problem is, there's so many Spinal Tap fans out there. It'll sell. Somebody will buy one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're gonna be disappointed with it.
I know. At the end of the day,
Going differently.
it's a great theme. I was really disappointed actually that they scooped up that theme because that would have been hilarious if someone did it right.
I'm pretty confident this has actually been my best game of the night.
It is.
Yeah.
Good job, Joel. We're
Which
proud
is-
of you.
Which is comical.
It's always darkest before the dawn. That doesn't even make sense though, because the sun's starting to come up.
Yeah, yeah. It's probably darkest right in the middle of the night.
It's probably darkest like at the deepest dark of night.
There's a ball save.
Oh, you gotta.
Good stuff.
There you go.
I have another ball. I have another.
So do you have a 6 times multiplier going there with that?
No.
gauge?
So if you look, okay. So no, it's just every shot base would be a 100,000. Well, if you look at that when I was in that 6 realm, look at the speedometer on the upper right. It was so before it was worth 100,000. Now because I'm in second gear, it's worth double that. So that's why I'm at 260,000. So it's
see.
if you can get these. Oh, I'm not in second gear. Never mind. It's at 260,000 because I'm technically in third gear, but that number goes down. So I'm now at 560,000. It's you can have everything worth like there are people that have scores posted to this game. Wow. Okay, that's one way to end it. There are people that have scores posted in this game and they're like 24 billion points. It's absurd. Well, they're a parody of pinball, I suppose. Yeah, good point.
Player one.
All right.
job.
What should we put this as? What would be a funny thing? We already did Nordman. What do we go
You could
with?
reference Zach's pool.
No, here we go. Needn't. There we go. We'll go with that. Boom. Lion Man would have been a good one. Lion Man's always a good one. All right, who we raiding? Everybody, first off, Dennis and Craig, thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here. Thoroughly enjoy talking to you guys.
Thanks for having us, Joel. It was always fun coming on.
Let's raid Flipstream. Flipstream's a good guy. There's no other TPN people going, so raid Flipstream. Next week, I thought you were talking to yourself, Joel. Yes, Manu. Yeah, the time I did do this once, and Manu and Jeff ended up on here, and they were impersonating each other. It was pretty great. Next week, I will be streaming next Wednesday, and I will then be streaming for Flipping Out again. I have to thank Zach and Nicole for letting me borrow this game. Thoroughly appreciate it. Yeah, Dennis, thank you for your content that you provide. I love the pinball show, and Craig, obviously the part that you have that in Will. So, thank you for what you guys do. And yeah, everybody enjoy Flipstream. Tell them I said hi, and we'll start that raid. If there's anything I can do for any of the viewers that are still here, feel free to email me at justanotherpinball@gmail.com. GG. Thank you, Manu. Watches with Dennis. Check it out. Craig, Bobby, we just have to wait for that midweek edition. Oh, Eclectic Gamers Podcast. Check that out, too. Yeah. Any plugs you got there, Craig? No.
You touched them all.
All right. Mervin, appreciate you, buddy. Enjoy the raid. See you guys.
Thanks, Joel. See you,
yeah,
Dennis.
Thank you, guys.
Goodbye.
Thanks a bunch for being here tonight. Have a great...
See you, Manu.
Have a great rest of your evening.